This is Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank for Monday, December 26th, 2011. Merry Christmas, everybody. On today's episode, I'm going to interview my friends Geoff Keith and Jeff Dye, both members of Sean Kemp's Kids, my basketball team in the Comedians Basketball League. But also, more importantly, they're both two stunning-looking men. No, I do not think it's gay to know when a man is good-looking. It's just, you obviously know when someone's better looking than you. It's not a big deal. You know when someone's uglier than you, so you're just going the other way. You know someone's better looking than you. Trust me, they know when you're uglier than them. Anyway, so I'm going to ask them about what it's like to be a fucking beautiful man. Most of this was difficult because they would not accept the fact that they were good looking. But they so are. They live in a different world than we do. They just don't understand it. In terms of announcements, I have my Storyteller show is January 3rd, 2012 at the Improv in Los Angeles. Go to improv.com for that. This Is Not Happening Presents. I still don't have a name. Schoolio, maybe? Scoliosis, maybe? Kumail Nanjiani from some shows on there. Piper and Nash? Something like that. Some TBS show. I forget what show he's on, but he's a hilarious comic. Brody Stevens from last week is doing it. He's going to be doing a story. It's all about school stuff. And then Bert Kreischer just told me he's in. So it'll be a great surprise. Still have to book like one or two more comics, but it'll be really fun. So come to that. Also, it's only $5. It's a $5 show, and I give away a signed copy of the poster that my friend Kevin Kirsty, this artist friend and comedian, makes for the show. So come to that. Also, I'll be at the end of January. I'll be playing at the Mall of America for the first time in Minneapolis at Rick Brunson's House of Comedy. Go to houseofcomedy.net. For tickets to that, please come out. I think I played Minneapolis once a long, long time ago with Joe Rogan, but it's been a few years. So I'm really excited. I think that's it. My sponsor this week and every week for the foreseeable future is adamandeve.com. A-D-A-M. You know how to spell Adam and Eve. I don't know why. I try to spell things out. But it's adamandeve.com. And if you go, they get a special discount code for me. So if you go there, you get 50% off any item. Then you also get 3 DVDs, porno DVDs. They call them adult DVDs, but they're pornos. And they give you a free item and free shipping when you do that. And so when you're checking out, you just put in ARI. That's my name, Ari. That's the offer code. Put that in and checkout, and that's what you get. 3 free DVDs, a free extra gift, free shipping, and 50% off one item. So go there and check it out today. Support my sponsors because they support me. And that's it, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying this. That's it. Have fun with it. It's Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank, number 38. Beautiful man. Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank. I'm here with my friends Jeff Dye and Geoff Keith.
Boom.
How are you guys? Thanks for coming over.
Good.
Where do you live?
Thank you.
I'm going to call you guys by your last name.
I like the studio.
My filthy apartment.
Nice recording
Nice.
studio.
If women would stop fucking me here, I would clean it up, but they just have not.
That's what I was thinking. I was in your bathroom. I was like, I wonder who Ari fucks in here.
Yeah, it keeps happening.
Like, how funny does your act have to get? That's why you're funny.
Yeah, I guess so. That
You
must
can't
be
just
it.
be
When you're
okay.
walking up the steps, she's like, "Man, I can't wait to have sex with this guy." And then right when she gets in the room, she's like, "I can't wait to be raped by this guy." That's what it turns into.
I love that.
I love that.
Where do you live?
Me, Burbank.
Oh, okay. Why did I think you lived in Orange County for a second?
Because I'm from Orange County. And
as
everybody
you
thinks
were
I
coming
never
up there,
left.
There you go.
Everybody thinks I'm just driving constantly to all
and
my
over.
gigs in LA.
Because when I met you, you were always doing gigs at like Brea.
No,
Like,
when I
you must
first started, I
live
didn't
here.
I didn't come to LA a lot because I could get more time in Orange County or like Riverside County, so in like San Bernardino. So like I would rather drive like bar gigs in Riverside, and they'd give me like 20 minutes in front of like 50 people.
That's all it was here is bar gigs in front of 4 people.
Yeah, I know, but there's more
It's way
people.
better there.
Yeah, so I'd actually like be able to work shit out and everything.
So now you moved up here to show them, like, oh look, I got.
Now I moved up here
I'm
to
the
just
best.
tour the country and
Now I'm
barely
the
ever do
best.
spots in LA.
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't audition or anything?
I audition, yeah.
Okay, that's the only reason to be here. And Jeff Dye, where'd you come from? Seattle.
I'm from Seattle, Washington.
You started there?
that was the place. That was a great first stage time. Like, as far as like
Tons of it.
yeah, like every night you could go up every single night and
As a brand new beginner.
Yeah.
That's man. Everyone asks like when I go on like do college especially, they're like, oh, like, where should I start? And I'm like, go to a place.
Not L.A.
Yeah, don't start in
move to
LA.
LA, no kidding.
Because I grew up down like out here, so like that's where I started. I wasn't gonna move somewhere, but like everybody I know from like Seattle, they got a lot of stage time, or like Detroit.
Yeah.
Those guys all got like a ton of stage time. And John Heffron told me, he's like, dude, when I was in college, I was going to college, and I would MC a weekend at a different club every
I was doing
every
weekends.
week.
I had no business doing weekends, and
You
I
do
was
full
doing like
weekends?
tons of time.
Yeah, and you get like all the stage time in front of like
That's the thing.
real
Like,
crowds.
if you want to be good at stand-up, like, go work out at a comedy club anywhere in the country. Like, live
Work
there.
out. Yeah.
But if
you can get
and
up.
you'll get good in like 4 or 5 years. If you move to LA, it's gonna take like 10 or 15 years to get good at that.
I started here. It was such a mistake.
Ugh.
Just you do open mics with like 6 comics, 2 of them writing jokes,
Ugh.
and then
Yeah.
somebody's asleep, and you're like, what? No one's listening.
Yeah,
What am
tourists.
I doing?
Tommy Johnigan's from St. Louis. Or no, he's
Yeah.
from Benton, Illinois, but he started in St. Louis or something. Or
He just moved.
Whatever. He's from the Midwest. This guy, when we did Montreal together, he was already working 50 weeks a year as a
Yeah.
feature. So
Really?
as soon as he did Montreal, like he got like some other stuff, and then like all those clubs were like, oh yeah, you can headline now because we love you.
Sure.
And it's like the same
Now they get
clubs.
the credit,
I
yeah.
would get like some credits and they're like, can I work? And they're just like, some LA comic has probably got 7 minutes. And
Exactly.
I'm like, no.
I get that a lot. Where people just you must be terrible.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing too in LA though is like everybody beats me in the 5-minute sets. So like all the LA comics like can throw fastballs for 5 minutes, like a
Yeah.
Letterman set. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I can beat all of them in like an hour and a half set, like a long on stage, the whole like headlining.
Yeah.
So like it's tricky. Like
There's a lot of comics here who have a really good 5 minutes.
yeah, great 5 minutes.
And
but
they also can do it if there's like no one in the room.
Right.
Where I'd be like, I'll do crowd work.
yeah,
But
exactly.
they don't have that problem.
It's crazy to me.
I
Like,
would
and that
say-
was one thing that startled me because I've done like a lot of shit, but I've done no late nights. I've done zero Conan
me
or
neither.
Leonard.
Really?
Yeah, I have nothing.
I was talking to these 2 female comics. I won't say their names because I'm like really good friends with one of them and kind of friends with the other one. But they were both.
Lisa Lampanelli and Monique.
Yeah, we'll go with them.
Jeff only hangs out with the most famous female comedians.
No, but they
Oscar Award winner Monique.
they were talking like we were all talking, and they were talking about like, oh yeah, like I gotta fill an hour now. I gotta fill an hour. Like, how do you do it? How do you fill an hour? And then they just looked at me and they go, Jeff, you do an hour like easily, like all the time, right? And I go, yeah. The difference is when I do it, no one cares, because like they were both like, wait, like they're like, you know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
just more famous than me.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
Nobody gives a shit.
I was like, yeah, I do it for like 40 kids at a college, and it goes great for them, and then no one gives a shit.
Girls sometimes are like, how do you write an hour? You're like, you just write it. You just do it.
Right.
Yeah,
You don't- you just I don't know. How do you normally
it's not
do it?
just
Date
girls,
someone who
it's
will do it
shitty
for you?
comics too.
Yeah.
Be like, how do you,
Date someone will do it.
someone asked me once, they go, how'd you get good at crowd work? And I was like, I'm a funny person. What's your deal? Like,
How else?
what are you
Is
talking
there a
about?
different route that
Yeah.
I was
Then just continue to
How
work
do you come
hard.
up with this stuff? You got to be funny. That's why you shouldn't get into it unless you're funny.
All right, this brings us to our topic, I think, maybe, is that you guys are both stunning individuals. You're both, first of all, you guys are both on my basketball team, Sean Kemp's kids.
Amen.
We underachievers 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
We're
who cares,
digressing
though?
as a team.
Yeah.
We got worse.
The first year we were like really good. We came together. We had the best chemistry.
The first year we were like the Heat. We
Yeah.
were the team to beat. We were getting the best out of the other
Everyone
teams.
hated us.
We were kicking ass.
Everyone
It was like
hated us.
All we did was play together and not fight.
Globetrotter style. We were dunking.
Yeah.
Well, nobody dunked.
Nobody dunked.
I would get
But,
heckled by guys that were supposedly comics in this league on the other, and I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah.
I remember one time Jeff goes, "You to take that?" I go, "I don't know what to say back to that guy. I don't even know who he
You
is."
made a reference I don't understand.
Yeah.
You just directed it at
He's
me.
talking
but
about something I
don't
posted on Facebook a month ago. I don't even know who this dude is.
get it. But yeah, I want to talk about what it's like to be you guys. To be hot.
I think we're only.
I asked you once. I asked Dye once. When's the longest you went without having sex? You thought about
When
it
he
for
was
like
Yeah, I
a
had to think
while.
about
He's
it for a
trapped
while.
in that cave with the Chilean miners.
He thought about it for a while. Opened up his
I once slept for 10 hours. I'm just kidding.
he opened up his calendar and he's like, "Hold on, I can get you an answer. Hold on." And he thought about it and he goes, "Okay, yeah, it's right now. It's 8 days." And I was like, "What? 8 days is the longest?"
Well, I think as far as like stand up, like so, like I thought about this a little bit.
Okay,
With stand up comedy
yeah.
is the only facet of life which we've chosen as a career where it is a little more difficult to be good looking.
What do you mean?
As far as like regular life, yes, things are easier.
Okay.
Like as far as I feel like when you're a better looking person, and stand up comedy is the business where it is like people like immediately like, man, this guy's
He's a
like-
pretty boy.
yeah, like they think, oh, people come to the show just because he's good looking, but like that's That might be
yeah,
true. Like, it might help the draw, but it hurts the act, I think. Don't you think?
Well, we can't talk about certain. I remember I wrote a joke like when I first started about how like I feel bad for fat people because like whenever people are mad at me, they just call me like a fucking prick, and then whenever they're mad at a fat person, it's like you fat fucking prick. Like they add in that the person's physically like unattractive.
So much easier.
Yeah,
it's like I know this will hurt you.
Yeah, and I tried it on stage, and people were just like,
"Fuck you."
You can't say that.
Sure.
And then it was like when I first started, and then I saw some fat comic do like pretty much the same type of thing.
Yeah.
And it fucking destroyed. And I was like, yeah, that guy should be saying that, I guess.
Oh, because that shit works against you. Because people are like,
yeah.
dude.
When I auditioned for the Dirty Show. This is a good. I guess this has to do with me being good looking. Yeah, for Montreal. Like I just done HBO, like the Jim Norton's Down and Dirty thing, and everybody was like, "Oh, Geoff Keith's got like really great dirty stories," which I did. But when I auditioned, Brian Keith Etheridge went before me, and he does like when he goes dirty, he goes like really dirty, it made my shit like about being in an orgy and sticking my finger in a girl's butt look
Disney.
like it looked like Disney, right?
Yeah.
But his whole I never realized it until that night. He goes up there and like you guys have seen him like like the first half of his set, like people were kind of like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then the second half, he just destroyed,
hitting you, hard.
He just destroys with all his like, but all his dirty shit is like, "I'm so ugly, I'll go down on the mustiest, grossest pussy," and it gets all graphic. Yeah. Then I go up there and all my stories are like, "Hey, it's been an orgy, huh?"
Yeah.
Right? And I seemed like such a dick because I was like, it seemed like I was bragging. Like the audience was literally like, "Fuck this guy, we just got on board with like the ugly guy."
I talked to them about that. I'm like, "Can you have your showcase and just have like 1 or 2 dirty comics on, like at the end?"
Right.
That's what we did.
That you have not. Oh, really?
But he was
the one guy.
Me and him were the only dirty comics, and like and Rachel Rush goes, "I thought your energy was gonna be good to follow his," and I'm like, I can't follow some guy talking about how he'll fuck anything, and then I'm bragging about being an orgy. He's like, I seem like an asshole.
Finger banging somebody once. Can you believe it?
Yeah,
like that's not that big.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. They gave him that show twice, but he couldn't do it.
Really?
The nasty show. Yeah, I think I did it once in his place.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna get it after that. And I just went home going like, am I an asshole for being in an orgy?
It must have helped you though, like growing up. I remember like cute girls, like in like 6th grade, when I was like older. Not hot girls, but like I could tell you're pretty. But like you get better grades. Like teachers want to like them.
Really?
Do you see that at all? That's like sort of just proven. They people like having good-looking people around them.
That's true. I think that's true. I was a late bloomer though. People got to understand that. Like,
yeah, I was
really
like a super good-looking kid growing up.
That's why I was funny. Like that was the only way I made friends.
Yeah,
that's how you developed a sense of humor.
Yeah, like in school, like I was
From
the
the
class
ugliness?
clown. I actually remember in high school a girl saying, I remember 2 specific things. Once was a girl from a different school. She was really hot, and that was a different school, so they didn't know me, you know. So they were like, "Oh, who's this guy?" None of the girls at his school like him. And she actually said to me, "Why do all the girls at your school not like you?" And I was like, "They like me. What do you mean?" Like I couldn't even like understand it. She's like, yeah, but none of them want to date you, and they don't think you're attractive. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
You're like, what? I didn't have any idea.
And then it's just like I was like totally late bloomer. I had no idea that anyone would think I was attractive. Like, so I just made jokes. Like I was goof around and stuff like that.
What about you?
Yeah, I wasn't really a good-looking kid.
I think everyone just didn't have confidence early in high school.
Yeah, maybe
like,
that's
even if you were good-looking, you just assumed.
Well, I didn't know how to like dress or anything like that, and I had like long ass hair and shit. Like I didn't know what.
Yeah, I know what I was doing.
Style.
No,
I didn't know how to get pussy.
I think that goes a long ways.
It took me a while to learn how to actually like get ass. Like I have like a story that my buddy Ian still thinks is funny because that's how bad I was. Like I used to be like too aggressive with girls when I was like if I liked a girl, like I would kind of press it. Yeah. And then my best friend Sean was like, dude, he told me one time, he goes, "You're too aggressive, man. You just gotta let him like come to you, or whatever." So this girl, I worked at a restaurant when I dropped out of college and first started stand up. And this girl worked at the restaurant. She was like the cutest girl at the restaurant. This girl, Mandy, and she really liked me. And I went over to her college, and we hung out one night. And I could tell she liked me. And she's like, "Hey, you should come to this party tomorrow night. Bring your friend if you want, like my roommate." So we go to this party. We have like the best night ever. This girl's so into me. And my friend Sean had it in my head, like, you got to like play it cool, right? So I'm playing it cool all night. I'm not trying to like kiss her or anything. And then we go back to their dorm. My buddy goes in the back with this girl. This girl starts blowing my friend right away, right? Yeah. They met that night. And then this girl, Mandy, sits down on my lap. She sits down on my lap, puts her arm around me, like hangs her head like right near my face, like let's make out now. And in my head, I was like, Sean said to play it cool. So she's trying to kiss me, and I just go, "Ian, let's go." And he's like, "What?"
That's how you play it cool, all right?
And then
what an idiot.
He's like, "What, man?" He comes out, and I'm like, "Come on, man, let's go. I'm tired." And I'm in my head. The thing that sucked is like,
play it so cool you act gay.
Exactly. That's what I did. And then like and in my head though, at the time I was like, I'm playing it so cool right now. She's gonna be so in love with me. But because it did work, like the whole night it worked playing it cool up until that point. But at that point,
at some point you got to go for it.
Yeah, go for it,
At
right?
some point you got to lean in.
So then Ian, like, I convinced him to leave, and he's walking. He's like, dude, he goes, what the fuck? Why are we leaving? He goes, I was getting head back there, and I'm like, believe me, dude, I played it cool. And then I explained it to him, and he goes, I don't think that's gonna work out for you, bro. The next day is when it hit me when I walked into work and I see her, and it was so awkward between me and her. I'm like, hey, do you want to hang out again? She's like, you know what? I'm just kind of like.
Oh wow, because she put it out there for you, and you just rejected her.
I rejected her, yeah. That's how bad
hilarious.
I used to be with girls.
I wish I just talked to Nick Youssef yesterday. I was like, I wish I could go back in time to starting comedy again, knowing what I know now, and have the same level of confidence I have now.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
It'd be so much easier
Just
to pick
even
up.
high school would have been.
High school would be the best.
Yeah.
I had
like,
this joke now that it's like, you know how everybody goes back in time, like Freaky Friday or 17
yeah.
again, and they just try to like, all the girls try to like win prom queen and get their friends. But every dude, if it was reality, would just try to fuck bitches.
Exactly.
They'd be like, I know how to do it now.
I know what to do. I know how to act. And also, like, I remember, like, dressing. Like, I dressed the same then as I do now, like, just shitty. But now I get, like, praise for it. Like, if I go to, like, some red carpet thing and I'm dressed like shit, everyone's like, oh, look, he's above it. Like, he doesn't dress like a douchebag. Well, I've always dressed like that, but I didn't know, like, I could, like, pull it off back then.
Now you claim it's you trying to keep it real.
Yeah, exactly.
Back then, it was like, oh, I don't know. I just what my mom bought me.
I had no game. Like, I remember, like, taking a girl to a dance, and then she kissed me at the end of the dance.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, oh, that's it. Like, this girl,
What?
she must love me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't true at all. She was just like, that was the end of the night. She just kissed. Next day, I brought her, like, flowers to school, and everyone was, like, so uncomfortable and was, like, fucking, she was, like, avoiding me and shit.
I did that my first week in Israel. I lived in Israel for a couple of years. My first week there was some girl, we made out. It was, like, the first girl I made out since, like, sleepaway camp.
Yeah.
And then I was drunk, and I was like, you have to remind me of this because I never want to forget it.
No, that's the way I am, too.
Israeli
She was
girls are
hooking up
bold
with
as
some other
shit,
dude
too.
the next day, and I was like, wait, what? I was in
So
love with you.
true. That's
They're like really bold too in Israel, right?
Yeah.
The women are like my friend Sean played basketball in Israel.
Yeah.
So I went out there to visit him, and like these girls would just be like, I'm just joking around, like being goofy with everybody, and like this one girl, I'm joking around, and she just goes like, be honest. She goes, you want to be with me tonight?
Whoa.
And I just go, whoa, this just got weird. And she's like, just say it. She goes, it is obvious to everyone that you would like to be with me tonight. And I'm like, first off, I've never talked about it. Like,
what are you still playing it cool for, Jeff? Didn't you learn it? Yes, I would like to be with you tonight.
and then I played it cool. Started giving me head, and I'm like, I gotta leave.
I gotta get out of here. Nah, that's I had kissed a girl in an audition not that long ago, and I was like, oh, this is it, fireworks. She loves me. It's like, no, it's just an audition. It means nothing.
What happened afterwards?
Afterwards.
This is one of my favorite stories, by the way.
This was
we
a long
talked about
time
this.
ago. Yeah, this
Hold
was a
on,
long
we
time.
talked about this in basketball once.
Yeah.
But I was talking about how like there was a scene I had to do in an audition where I had to like pretend somebody was my wife and where it's a
Right.
casino, but it was really romantic. So I had to kiss her like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And then I got those feelings. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like,
And
oh.
I just thought it was on. So afterwards, we're leaving, and I was like, so should we go out sometime?
Exactly.
And she
the
goes,
exact same
are
thing.
you serious? And just walks away. Now, when you say exact same thing,
Well, it's not the exact
thing.
same thing.
It's so fucking different. Go ahead,
Just say,
pretty boy.
like,
Tell me what your situation
Me
was.
and you were in the same mentality.
Yeah.
I should have known better, like an adult. Hey, we're playing pretend, which is all acting is. Let's not pretend that acting is some
Yeah, it's like
rocket
pretend.
scientist. No, little kids act all the time. It's
Yeah.
just pretend. That's all it is.
You're just better at it or worse at it.
And I still ascribe to the fact, which people are going to hate this, but acting's not hard. Auditioning is hard. Like, I don't think
Auditioning's
acting
a
is that.
separate
I think
field.
some kind of acting is hard though. That when you have to cry and shit. I've been
Well,
an
you
actor
just
last year, I tried to
pretend.
cry.
Like, I'm really good at pretending. Like,
I am too, but like when I'm
There's
trying to
some-
get real tears, it's hard to like block out in your head like
That
I'm
you're
trying to
seeing.
cry right
Yeah.
now. Oh wait, no, I'm in this moment.
In acting class,
where
you
the
always
fuck are
see
the
this.
tears?
In acting class, whenever a girl like gets a tear, she like presents it.
Yeah,
like it's an
look
award.
what I did.
Yeah, she's not trying to hold it back at all. She's like,
So true.
leads with that cheek.
Yeah, so same thing. I had to kiss this girl for an audition. We're supposed to like be like roaming around in a field,
Yeah.
and the girl. So if I would have got this audition, it was a triple whammy, is
Oh,
what
the
it was.
Jessica Biel thing.
Because the girl was Jessica Biel. This
It
girl was
was
a
Jessica
stand-in
Biel?
for. No, she was
Oh.
a stand-in for Jessica Biel. So if I were to book the commercial, this girl that I'm kissing in this audition will
would've
be
been
Jessica
kissing-
Hill.
wow.
And this
listen to
girl
who
was
the
very.
director is. Who's
And
the
this girl was
director?
very pretty.
Yeah.
And the lady who was running the audition,
Yeah.
Catherine Bigelow.
Right after she won Best Director Academy Award for Hurt Locker.
And she loved me.
And
She
she
brought
loves
me
Jeff.
in like
She was
10
doing
times.
a-
She's like, Catherine Bigelow's like obsessed with me.
What was this for? A movie?
No, it's for a Revlon commercial with Jessica Biel.
which I
She
saw
just
by the
directed
way.
the
Yeah,
Hurt
yeah.
Locker, and she was directing a Revlon
Yeah,
commercial.
And she loves Jeff Dye, and Jeff Dye's
she
about
was-
to fuck Jessica
Yeah.
Biel. Like Jeff's life is way better than
And
everybody
I
else.
just broke it up with my girlfriend, so I was like, this'll show her.
that would
Yeah.
have been the best.
She'll see me on TV kissing Jessica Biel and come running back, you know?
That is the best.
So-
Commercials
and I
where
was
like
so
everyone
excited.
will see this.
yeah.
I was so excited about it. And, so after the audition, I was like an idiot. I should have, as like an adult, said, this is pretend.
Yeah.
This is not real. We're not really in a field dancing around together. This was a fake.
Yeah.
And also, this girl was kissing tons of dudes.
Oh yeah, all day.
All day, probably.
Oh,
You know, there was
weird.
it's not like I was the only one that auditioned. There was like 10, 12 guys
Did
in
she
that room.
like
Just when
mouthwash
I
or
was there.
something after each?
She said most guys didn't kiss her, and like if they did, like she was fine with it. Like
I know some guys are super worried about oral herpes, and they won't
Really?
kiss anybody, like even on the lips. David
Really?
Taylor's all worried about that. I'm like, David, relax.
Yeah, cool it.
I
Nobody's
totally
getting
forgot
oral
that.
herpes.
Quit
That's right.
drinking the Kool-Aid
Yeah.
on these sex ed classes. Like,
Bro, you just drink a bunch of water the next day, like I told you guys. in your
That's all you
flushing
gotta do.
system. You pee it out.
So yeah, so I was like, so I guess, do you want to go out or like what? Like I asked like an idiot, and she said yeah. Like,
That's the difference. She said yes, and they went out for how long? This is so
That
retarded.
is true.
He was like, yeah, same shit happened to me.
Are you serious?
We dated for a while. She was crazy. Like, that's not the same thing at all.
She wanted to get married, but I
You
said I don't know.
fucked.
She was crazy.
Did you at least bone? You must
Nah,
have.
nothing.
Oh, really?
She took me to some gay club with her and a bunch of her gay friends, and I thought like, best case scenario, I'll
Only
get some
one hitting on
material about like what a gay club's like.
Yeah.
And it was a fascinating peek into that world, but
Just a
I
bunch
just
of people
realized she was
partying that
kinda,
are
like,
eventually
nuts.
going to hell.
She's one of these weird girls who are like, like surrounds themselves by gay men and
On
feels
purpose.
like it's like cool and like I
Yeah.
don't know, it's a strange girl.
Can't
I went to a
stand
gay
it.
bar once with my friend from college. He came, and he says West Hollywood is Mecca. But,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But we went to that place, Rage, I think. And every time I ordered a beer, the only thing, I mean, I don't mind, it's fine. But every time I ordered a beer, they would slam it down on the table so like it like bubbles
Oh my
up.
God,
It's like it's coming.
So phallic, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I get it, that's fine once, but like, I want the beer, so don't quit wasting my beer with your stupid.
I just
jam.
paid for that. You just
Yeah, you're
quit making the beer I paid for
Give me
come.
50 cents.
You
I
know,
wouldn't
like-
even have gotten that. I would have been like, "You just spilled my beer. Can I get a
Could I
fresh
get a new one that you don't slam down like an asshole?
It's hilarious.
I've been to the Abbey before. That's like
How was that? I've heard of that one.
that's supposedly like the best.
They're
gay
sort of fun. There's like zero pressure, and any girl in there is game.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
she's not
See, I
used to not
didn't
getting
get
hit
that vibe or anything like that. It was just so weird for me. Like,
Yeah.
I come from I'm very naive. I didn't expect to see any of that. I was like, what in the?
Yeah, I know a girl. I was dating a girl or hooking up with a girl that was like a dancer there
Yeah.
at the Abbey, and then so she like I'd walk to the
They
back.
had girl
and-
dancers because they're fabulous.
I guess, and then
Okay.
There's
it's
no
just-
girls
it's
at this one.
just- I don't care if people are gay or straight, but when you're surrounded by a bunch of dudes staring at you, it gets
Yeah, yeah.
weird. I'm like, I'm not. It's fun.
I kind of
Like,
liked
I don't
the
know what to say.
attention. I liked that. Like
Yeah,
that
I liked
part.
it
I was like,
too,
yeah,
but-
this is nice, but it was just like overwhelming. Like at the end of a night, like if you're at a bar and you're a single dude, like you're like, oh, it's 1:30. You gotta do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
That is magnified by 1,000,000 at a gay bar because they're all dudes.
Yeah.
So they're just like,
Oh, yeah.
like they can sense the clock ticking down. And they're all like animals, just like fucking looking
Yeah,
for
it's
some
a-
kind of.
Oh,
thing
the
to-
best thing is 1:45 to 2:15. That
Wait,
hour
where's that?
at a gay bar.
Oh yeah.
1:45 to right when it's about to close and when it does close, they're just like, oh, I gotta fuck
Yeah,
somebody.
you gotta have sex with something like that. It was
It's kind
like,
of a good deal being
these-
a
Yeah,
gay,
they're
a
all
gay
like,
guy.
what's up? What's your name?
Yeah.
Jeff, let's
Yeah.
go. And
it
that's
was
it.
crazy.
It is pretty
the
awesome.
guys are all thinking the same shit. It's gotta be kind of an easy life.
Oh yeah, my friend explained it to me. It's like I had this transsexual boss once, and he was like, I was like, how come you guys are all whores, gay people? And he goes, you know how you guys want to fuck all the time, but girls say no. We don't have the person saying no.
Yeah.
It's
So
the best explanation.
you're the same level of whore as
The
any guy.
best explanation.
Yeah, you're just taking away the no. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Do men get mad at you at like bars? You ever see like animosity from other dudes?
I found out very early on, like, because when I first started touring, it was with Pablo Francisco, and
Oh,
Pablo,
really?
Yeah, Pablo's the one that like brought me on the road, and Pablo's
That
crowd is
guy's
like
cool.
pretty young, and like a lot of hot girls go watch Pablo, so
Yeah.
like I would get hit on constantly, and then a lot of times like girls would be with their boyfriends, and I like found out very early on like how to handle that, because like right in front of you, some girl would just be like all over you, kind of.
Yeah.
And like her boyfriend's there, it's kind of like, yeah, like fucking funny, bro. Like they loved me during the show, but then after the show, I was like, oh, I didn't realize my girlfriend was gonna be all fucking over, So then like I'd like get this, like you probably get that shit all the time too. Like the guy's like looking at you like he hates you, like you're funny, but I fucking don't like you. And so like I like learned real quick how to like diffuse girls that were like coming on me in front of their boyfriend or husband.
My rule
It
is-
also makes me hate women, by the way.
Oh yeah, totally. I don't get hit on that much, but sometimes it's like, especially after you get off stage, it's like
Yeah.
whatever. But if they're with any guy, I don't care if they say it's just my friend. I'm like, I'm out. I
You
don't.
cut it short, man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, thank you so much. I'm glad
Yeah.
you liked it. Like, look me
You
up
should come out and
online.
drink
or
with us.
That's
something.
why
That's okay.
it always
Yeah.
means more when the guy says it's a good show. for
right.
me.
He's not
like, which has almost made my like Bill Bellamy told me like during Last Comic Stand, he's like, dude, girls love you. What you got to do is just start writing jokes for girls. They're gonna come to these things. Like he was like telling me like that's what you do. But like I've almost done the opposite because
I'm pretty sure that's wrong, Bill Bellamy.
Yeah, like
I
I started
not
doing
the way
that
to
like,
be a good comedian.
if a girl after a show says she really liked the show, I don't take it with that much. Like I'm like, oh, thank you, I'm flattered, you know. But if a guy like some tough guy who doesn't want to kiss me or have sex with me says it's a good show, I'm like, oh, it means a lot. Like it's about my jokes. Like it means something. But yeah, like that seems to be the consensus is that like. Just I almost cater to the dudes. Like
I've
seen like good-looking guy comics
more comedy club audiences.
Yeah,
that's more of the audience.
There's a
couple
couple
ones buying those drinks for those girls
and the tickets. Yeah,
but especially in LA, there's like there's other good-looking guy comics, but they're just like not good at comedy. And I've seen these dudes like fucking with like
there's a lot of
hot
actors
girls.
who just try it.
Yeah, and like girls don't care. Like just like being on stage. Like, I mean, they care if they see, like, a good-looking comic go up and bomb, and then, like, I'll go up and do really well. Like, they see the difference, but they're still going to want to fuck that guy just because he went on stage and he was talking, and they assume that you're confident, even though most comics are, like, not.
Somebody explained to me, you have 300 people staring at you.
Yeah.
And so the girls look around at all these people staring at you like, oh, he's important.
It's like my buddy Mark is, like,
it's
6'9".
primitive almost.
Yeah,
It's like,
they can't help it.
My buddy Marcus is, like, a 6'9", like, black guy. So if he walks into any club.
Is your friend?
Yeah, he's
your friend's with black. Okay, I'm sorry.
Acquaintance.
Gross.
Ew,
I can't wait to hear this story.
No, but like when Marcus walks in anywhere, it's obvious he plays professional basketball somewhere because you're not 6'9".
He's the one that
black
played in Israel?
and really good. No, he plays in Germany right now.
Yeah, he's
Two
either
professional friends that play in Europe.
Yeah, my buddy Muhammad plays in Switzerland. Anyways, when Muhammad's 6'10", when those dudes walk in, it's like obvious they're athletes. So girls like they're on them right away. And that's the same way when we come off stage. It's like we just became 6'10" black guys, basically.
Sure.
Like
well,
in that room.
There's an old saying: behind every great man, behind every successful man is a woman, because he's successful.
I never heard that tagline to that.
That's true.
It is.
Because why would they be alone?
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the funniest shit ever. I don't care about this at all. I'll put this girl on blast. The fucking I was over at my buddy's sister's place, right? And like her friends are just like club chicks. Like they just go out to clubs, and this one girl is just not attractive. I'm not gonna say her name. She's not that attractive at all. She got fake boobs just to like get attention. She goes out to clubs and like tries to find, and she specifically tries to find rich guys, like athletes or like any like rich dude. And then like last night, I'm just over there, I'm hanging out, and then they're all talking. I'm just like looking at my phone, and then this girl would not shut up, and she's just like, "What?" She's like, she's literally said to me like, "I go to Beverly Hills like nice restaurants because that's where I can meet like successful men," and I go. And she's like, "What?" It's like, "There's nothing wrong with it. I just want a guy who's ambitious like me and has goals." And I'm like, "Why the fuck are you ambitious?" I go, "What do you do?" And she goes, "Oh, come on, Jeff." She goes, "I'm finishing school." I'm like, "You know how many people finish school?"
Most of them finish school.
Most doing shit. I go, "You're saying like?" And she goes, "You're saying you want someone just like you?" I go, "But like, you're just chasing rich dick." And fucking that's your ambition. I go, "You're not ambitious in life. What are you fucking you got a startup company or something? You're finishing school."
It's so
some
true.
girls are so stupid.
And then she goes like this. She tried to like flip it, and she goes, "What, Jeff?" She's like, "Why are you like complaining?" She's like, "You have goals and stuff and blah blah." I'm like, "No one's talking about me." I go, "Of course I'm ambitious. That's why girls want to fuck me." I feel
like to an extent though that also happens on the other side with like Owen Benjamin. You know, he was dating like Christina Ricci or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
He
I
dates super hot
graduated
girls.
with. She's not that hot though. That's my point.
She looks like a little kid.
I've
is
graduated
short.
with 20 girls
Yeah.
more attractive than Christina Ricci, just in my high school.
Yeah.
But what makes Christina Ricci the wild card is famous
her name.
in movies.
Yeah.
And
She
so
was in
like
Addams
that makes
Family.
him be like, oh, hey, I'm with this real famous, but it ups my profile. It's the same thing. Like Kirsten Dunst, do you think she's that pretty? No, she looks pretty average. But
She's cute.
most guys would like.
Yeah, but you can walk around Newport Beach and see like a million girls hotter than
Yeah,
fucking
that's the weird thing
Kirsten
about LA.
Dunst.
Right. But that
Yeah.
because they're celebrities, it's kind of
Yeah.
the same thing. Like these,
Yeah, you give them a couple points higher.
it's like a profile. Yeah, like oh.
But here's the thing, though. Celebrity guys, when a girl's like, "Oh yeah, I'm hanging out at the club and so and so," it's like, great. He's a guy. You're a decent girl. He was drinking. He
Exactly.
wants to fuck you. That's not anything special. But if a celebrity girl who's like protective of her shit because she's a girl, if she likes you as a guy, I'm not just saying because I'm a guy. I feel like it's more of an achievement for a guy to get. Not that it matters.
what?
They're just like just a person. But I'm saying like, if a girl hooks up with a famous dude, who gives a shit? He's a dude. He just wanted to fuck you.
Right.
But if like Jeff starts dating Jessica Biel or something, like Jessica Biel's probably like way harder to get than fucking
She has
Michael
hot
Irvin.
guys hitting on her all the time, and rich and successful
Yeah.
guys.
Well, yeah,
And
it's
she's
so
a
true 'cause,
female,
like,
and she's not like
I
gonna
was at
slut
something
around with anybody.
a few weeks ago. Andy Milonakis came in, the guy who
like that guy.
literally has a disease that he can't go through puberty. Like he's
Wait.
immortal. Like that's like
Yeah.
that's his disease. And he had like some of the hottest girls I've ever seen
Around him.
and it's because he's Andy Milonakis, not because they
Yeah.
said, "Oh, that guy's real hot." Like
Mini V
nobody-
fucks girls.
yeah, Vern
fucks
Troyer.
regular girls.
I don't know.
Who?
Vern
Mini
Troyer,
V.
the
Vern Troyer,
Mini
yeah.
Oh
V.
yeah.
He shows up with regular hot blondes.
Yeah, they're like, what girls like graduated high school? Like, oh, I really would just want to like date a baby. Nobody.
I wonder if those girls either say it's a split between girls who say to themselves like, I just see the insides of them, or the other half going, oh, I like freaks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Or-
just
Maybe
into
it says I see the inside.
All of them
It's
saying
just,
like,
shut the fuck
I
up.
love money. Like, I think that's
Yeah.
really what it is. It's like it comes down to this primitive, like,
Well,
especially in Los
car's a
Angeles.
car.
That's what girl was saying. She's like, I just want someone who will take care of me. I'm looking out for my well-being. And I'm like, have you ever thought of taking care of yourself?
Exactly.
Like, that doesn't even cross your
You know how many
mind.
girls in this city have handbags worth more than what they have in their own bank account?
Yeah.
Like, they're just incapable of.
Whenever I see some hot girl driving a new Mercedes-Benz, and I look at her, and I'm like, I don't recognize you, and you're hot, so you're not like a director
Right.
or a writer or something, you know?
Yeah,
and I'm like,
exactly.
somebody's had to buy that for you.
Exactly.
There's no way. What
It's
are you,
a
an
life
accountant?
of being dependent.
No way.
Yeah, it is.
When I get mad in the car, like, so because I remember one time I tweeted something like, some fucking dumb housewife in some car she didn't work for just cut me off. Like,
That's hilarious.
I get so mad. So like,
And
I know
they-
this
and
bitch
they-
did not
and they
buy
have
her.
the balls to have entitlement with it.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Wait, you didn't earn any of that?
Oh, yeah,
You
they start
also
feeling like, I
have
deserve
entitlement?
this.
yeah.
You ever see the Housewives of the NBA or whatever, all those shows?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they all feel like they've earned something. You're
Yeah.
like, you
So
fucked a
true.
dude for a little while.
So
Yeah, 'cause
you
they
fucked
put-
Common 7
You know,
times
if
doesn't make
there
you
was a
anything.
show
Yeah.
called WNBA Husbands, it would just be them following around guys working. It would be a guy like at his full-time job, like, yeah, date Cheryl Swoops, but listen, I gotta work right now. I can't be.
There'd only be like 3 of them. There'd mostly just be.
They're mostly
it'd be
lesbians.
WNBA wives.
Yeah, it was
It'd be
the
the
same
same
thing.
show, yeah.
I used to be a practice player with the girls' team at Maryland. They just needed big bodies to bang with. That's when
Right.
I was like the best I probably was. But their groupies after games were some of the same groupies that were for the boys' team. It was pretty fun.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Does this quickly turn into a podcast about not me and Jeff McGilling, but women sucking ass?
We meander. We meander a lot in this podcast. I don't mind. That's what I'm doing. Do women freak out when you reject them? Do they get like mad at you? Because you must say, like some guys are like, yeah, whatever, I'll take it. But you must have standards.
Yeah, I've had girls that I noticed not like I
Not like
reject them,
uggos.
not like they like hey, do you want to have sex? I'm like no, but like if I'm not like overly flirty with girls,
Yeah.
they'll like I have one girl at college. I had a great show. Everyone on our student activities board was like tweeting me and when are you coming back and writing. And she wrote my agent an email saying like
Your
I
agent?
was I was like a dick. And I was talking
really?
shit. She like made up all these like the show wasn't good. Like and I'm like, oh really? Why does everybody else at the show like say that? I'm just like.
Right.
But, like, I had that. I had a girl.
It was because you wouldn't hit on her enough?
I don't know. Like, maybe because I wasn't, like, fucking over the top, like, nice to her. That's why I feel like it was like. There's another girl who used to come to all my shows when I was at the Ontario Improv. I used to do, like, a monthly show. And this girl was married. She's unattractive. But she'd come to all my shows, and she'd bring, like, friends. So I was always nice. I'm nice to everybody, first
Yeah.
off. But, like, especially after shows, I'm nice. You know, like, I shake hands, take pictures if people want, sign something people want. This girl, after one of the last shows she came to, she was just, I could tell she wanted to, like, flirt with me. And I'm like, 1, you're not attractive. 2, you're married, which is that's 1.
That's
you know what I
sorta
mean?
weird,
Like,
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not fucking that guy who like wants to go with married chicks and ruin marriages. So like, she wrote me an email on Facebook and she's like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I think you're hilarious and all my friends do, and I bring new people every time. They say you're so funny, but so my friends just kind of think, you know, we all kind of think you're just like, you're a little bit of a dick. And I just wrote her back. I was like,
Wow.
and I was like, I honestly don't know what to say. I go, I don't know. I smile. I talk to everyone. I talk to you and all your friends. Yeah. I go, I sign stuff. I take pictures. I go, I don't know what else. I got you guys in for free. Like I comped your tickets. I go, how much nicer must this be? And she's like, yeah, you know, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, you don't really like. She
wanted more attention.
She wanted me to flirt with her.
Yeah.
And I just and she never came to a show after that because I wrote her back like, look, sorry, I don't know like what you want. Like that's enough.
She couldn't probably grasp what she wanted.
No, she knows what she wanted. She never brought her husband. Right. You know what I mean? This dude's
she
never
wasn't-
invited
no
out.
way she was telling herself, I'm going to fuck this comic. Or maybe she was.
I don't think she thought she was gonna fuck me. I think she just wanted me to be like, oh, you showed up again. You're so
Sure.
pretty. You're like just like.
I
fucking-
feel like girls are real creative with rejection. So I don't know.
do
It's
you
never
mean?
like a latent rejection. Like girls will be like, it'll be very obvious that they're flirting or like looking at you or whatever from like at a comedy club,
Yeah.
and then they'll be like, so do you have a girlfriend?
Oh.
And I'll be like, yeah. And then like, is that hard? So then they make it sound like,
Like they weren't going for it.
like, oh, I was just asking you because I'm real fascinated by the lifestyle of a, you know. So it's like a real like, you know, you guard yourself.
That is the question I get now where I've picked up. You know, there's tells sometimes in poker
yeah.
where if somebody's like, do you have a girlfriend? It's like, oh, you want to fuck? Like, like that's almost how easy it is.
I'll tell you what a tell is for a girl, Ari. If she starts talking to you,
If she starts talking to you?
she pretty much wants to fuck.
Really?
Don't you think?
I don't know.
Like, maybe not that night, but she's interested.
But she's
in
into it,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
her level
Yeah,
is.
I guess.
Really?
If, like, you get hit up by a girl you have, like, that used to be, like, a friend, and then, like, she's like, hey, I saw you on TV, blah, blah, blah. Like, you look good. Like, that means, like, we should get together and maybe fuck. Like,
Really?
that's how I take
feel
it,
like
and
we
I'm
should
always
make
right.
a service
Wow.
announcement right here.
Because why else would they even bother?
We need
Yeah.
to make a quick commercial for this podcast. If people are listening, they're gonna make it based on just what we've shared in the last like 20 minutes. People are gonna be like, "Gosh, I got to do stand up. All these hot chicks are trying to have sex with these guys. This is not as common as you might think."
These are also the best stories we have.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
we're sharing
It's
them.
not as common because we're making it sound like, oh, if a girl even talks to you after the show, she wants everything. Most of the time,
If I have 12
stand-up
stories,
comedy,
that's once a year.
Exactly.
That
Stand-up
doesn't mean-
comedy is a business where couples come to see you and then they go home and have sex with each other. Generally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you tour with somebody. That's what I'm saying. With Pablo had a bunch of, like, single... That's what happened. I had my girlfriend, and then I was touring with Pablo. She met me when I was touring with Pablo. Like, she was a waitress at the Miami Improv.
Yeah.
And I met her out there. She moved out to L.A. for me and all this stuff.
For you?
Yeah, to live, like, to be with
Oh,
me.
you already-
Yeah.
okay.
And then so... and then, like, when I
said
stopped...
that like it was obvious too.
No, when
Why
I
wouldn't
stopped...
anyone move for me?
Yeah.
When I,
girl. Geoff Keith.
when I wasn't touring with Pablo anymore...
It's a dumb girl. Of course she knew.
When I wasn't touring with Pablo anymore, I started doing, like, regular clubs, you know, like, not, and they weren't sold out. They weren't
yeah.
fucking a bunch of hot chicks.
And you're headlining, and there's like 80 people there on a
Yeah.
Thursday. at 3
I'm
in a theater.
headlining, or I was featuring, and it was just like, yeah, and there's, like, not a lot of people there. They're ugly. But not, sorry, the rest of the country. But, like, she thought in her head, like, oh, like, you know, she was, like, insecure.
You're as successful
Yeah.
as Pablo. You're part of that show.
Yeah, she was just like, oh, like, I'm sure, like, girls are coming to you. And I would tell her, I'm like, look, I'm not lying. It's not like it, like you used to see it. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
And then she came out with me to Indianapolis for New Year's one time.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Crackers. And,
Yeah.
like, those shows were packed. I was featuring, though. Like, this was a long time I was featuring. And the shows were packed. And there were, like on, like, ladies' night or something. I remember these girls run out. And I used to have a lot of
Oh,
bits
yeah, they have
about-
a ladies. They have a girls' night.
Yeah. I used to have all these bits about my girlfriend. So these girls, they didn't see my girlfriend. Like, Tiara was, like, over here. And then these girls around, and they're like, do you really have a girlfriend? Because, like, we all want to go home and fuck you. Like, they literally just, like, yelled that.
What?
And I go, yeah, I do. And she's right there. And then, like, that's what she saw after I've been telling her, like,
Now
that's not how-
every
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Blatant, obvious.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I told her, I wish that never happened because that's really not how it is
Right.
anymore.
Hold
and she
on.
goes, whatever.
A pack of girls said, do you have a girlfriend because we want to take you home and fuck you?
They said, like, I don't know if they said want to go. They said, like, we wanted, like,
Criminy.
go home with you or something. Yeah. I don't think they said fuck, but, like,
That's what they
they're
meant.
like, you should come home with all of us.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's. I feel like my girlfriend is really disillusioned, as far as. Like, she thinks that that's every night. Like,
Yeah.
she thinks,
Well,
like,
that's what they're
after I
gonna
get
think.
out, there's a line of tail just waiting, going, hey, come on, let's all, like,
Yeah.
drink and go to, like, it's like, that's not, most of the time, I'm drinking a beer with my middle act,
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
goofing around, and we'll occasionally wander down to a bar or something. Like, usually it's at the club we're having beers and
Yeah.
talking about sports.
To me, that's my favorite. Is if whoever the managers of the club, like, can you just keep this open and the whole wait staff and us can just drink here? for,
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 hours. That'd be a lot of fun.
That's comedy
Yeah.
for me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I can talk about comedy forever. Like, I don't need to go chase girls at a bar.
Yeah, people think 'cause I was doing all these colleges, they're like, you just must be tearing it up, dude. Just, like, getting so much ass. I'm like, I would never.
I'm always
trying
torn
to
up
hook
whether
up
I should tell girls, like, no, that's not what happens, or, like, you should keep believing that. You'll be more interested in me if you
They're going to believe it no matter
Yeah,
what,
the
though.
illusion, keep the illusion
Yeah,
alive.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to believe it. If you
I think they
I'm
believe
that
it
important.
no matter what.
Really, the best I ever did on the road was with Pauly,
Really?
because it was all like hot, dumb, and girls that would come with other girls,
That's hilarious.
and then also they were a little disappointed by Pauly.
Oh, yeah.
On
Oh,
stage.
yeah. I forgot about
So
that.
then it was like, oh well, I came to fuck here, and
And
that he wasn't.
I
doing
don't
it
want
for me.
that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, and
That's
plus
hilarious.
we would always sell his T-shirts so you could actually meet every girl. They would come in line one at a time. So it's like, you were really fun. I'm like, thanks. You should give me your number. Okay, now move on, please. And then you would
That
get to the
is
next girl.
Incredible. It's so funny to me.
What about Joe? Doesn't he have a lot of pretty...
One, he gets a lot of dudes. because of MMA stuff.
Because the fight stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
then
and also
You
he's-
don't fuck
get
that?
couples.
What's going on?
No offense to Joe, but there's a thread of misogyny in his.
a little bit, yeah.
A little bit, like not a lot. I find him to be very fair, but if
If
like
you're
a
gonna
girl
get
listened
uptight,
to it,
yeah.
You could definitely see.
If you want something to like jump on, he has stuff like that
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
Most guys can have something like that too, but they don't
Sure.
feel like jumping on it because like it's
Right.
just a joke. Who cares?
When also, like, if I said the same joke Joe says, it would be different because
Yeah.
I smile a lot and I'm not as like strong and you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like Joe has a.
The first time I saw him perform, I was like, that dude's got a vein in his neck that looks like he could beat me up.
Yeah,
like,
he-
if
yeah,
I
like,
looked at it
yeah,
the wrong way.
And then also a lot of those girls, well, they used to come just to try to get with him. And so
Yeah.
it's like, well, he's not going to go for you, so how about me? Like, beat it, loser.
That's shouldn't you be shoveling coal for Joe Rogan somewhere?
You have a dungeon to get back to. What was I going to say? I have all these questions that people want to ask. Most of the I asked on Twitter, like, who has questions for like a hot guys. Most of the questions were, do you ever come in your own face while you stare at yourself in the mirror? And I'm like, come on, bro.
Of course.
How long and fucking powerful is my dick?
Do people think you're dumb? Do you get that a lot?
I'd
I'm
say
smarter
dumb
than most
on
people.
stage.
No, but do people think it? Like when I see a hot girl, I'm assuming she's uneducated. It really has nothing to do with.
That's
I
funny.
don't
she
think I'm
is.
so good looking, Ari, that people look at me and go, this guy's so good looking, he must
Maybe
be
it's your
stupid.
body I've turned over on. Your body's fucking chiseled. When you
Yeah,
change-
Keith.
It's like Jesus.
Keith's like that Adrian Peterson commercial where you don't have to be gay to be like Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow, is he running in slow motion?
Just
This
on
is-
an artistic
yeah.
level, it's like I like what you've done with this.
Wow, no chest hair.
I know, this is the thing. I don't even consider myself.
Yeah. How do you not have any chest hair?
I
you
get a
shave
little
your
bit.
fucking chest.
I get a little bit, and I shave it.
Jesus.
There you go.
Well, because I don't have enough to where it looks good, and I just like shaving it.
And your aesthetic is that of a porn star? I don't
Hey,
know.
I'm not working out so my fucking hair can cover up my my work.
That's pretty good
I
mentality.
leave
I'm not
hair
trying
on
to comb
chest
my
so
stomach.
That's
It creates a
hilarious.
fake shadow, so it looks like it's.
That's what those guys on 300. You know that movie 300?
Uh huh.
Yeah, like what they did is they would be shaved strategically so that the hair.
Really?
Yeah,
Created
so,
lines.
so the top part was shaved, and then
Yeah.
there was like hair in each little crevice or
so it
whatever.
made it
to
look
make
more like a six pack.
Yeah, it looked strong.
They also did crazy workouts.
Well, those
Oh,
guys, yeah,
they were
ripped.
also
They were also
extremely
really
strong.
ripped, but I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
just-
just saying. Yeah,
That's why I like. The only thing I like about those tabloids is like, because people think like Brad Pitt's like super ripped, you know, and he's in like Fight Club and everything.
Yeah.
That guy passed out on set because he wasn't drinking water, like he wasn't eating anything,
Oh.
and he passed out on set.
We're not here to take down Brad Pitt.
No, I
are we?
love
Are
Brad
you
Pitt.
upset
Fuck
about-
Brad Pitt.
No, but like girls think like, oh, that's how he looks all the time.
Sure.
And then like, like my dad reads all those shitty tabloids, which I hate. But like, there will be a picture of Brad Pitt on vacation. He's got like a little gut. I'm like, nice.
Yeah, when he's off.
Eat, Brad.
He's a
yeah,
human,
he's
yeah.
not filming anything.
I love seeing guys like that. We're like, cool.
Yeah,
At least I have
good
a
for
chance.
you.
I was mad when I saw Christian Bale on an airplane and he weighed, 200 pounds. It's like, what the hell is this?
Oh, he's big.
I saw you
that
in
guy
that
gets,
movie.
He gets
There
real
was
The
something-
Machinist.
He went from the Machinist to Batman. So he went from like, I'm going to weigh 87 pounds.
Yeah, The Machinist was disgusting.
To me, he should have won, just for the preparation, he should have
Yeah.
won an Oscar for that.
Yeah, if you're willing to endanger your body
Yeah.
for
In
like,
the fighter, he was like he looked like
Big?
he was doing drugs because
Oh, really?
he was a
So
drug
thin?
addict. He played like Dickie Eklund or whatever, and he was like super.
Oh, yeah.
super skinny.
You should
Oh,
see in The Machinist. Because he was
Dude,
like,
on
I
The
don't sleep, I
Machinist?
don't eat.
He was under 100 pounds.
He was under 100.
That's
And,
He went from that to Batman.
And they were telling him, like,
Well,
hey,
he's-
like, you can't do this. Like, we'll cancel the movie. Like, you could die. Like, you could see it. You should watch it. It's
He looked
terrifying.
Holocausty. It was really crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
he did it to
disgusting.
himself, which is the strangest part.
Yeah, he's like, I want to play the part right.
Yeah.
To me, it's that role for that guy, and then that hot chick from Hitchcock who played the whore, but she was like, I'll just be ugly.
I'm trying to think.
Who's the hot chick from Hitchcock? Or not Hitchcock? What's that superhero movie?
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron.
Oh, yeah, in Monster?
Yeah, in Monster.
Yeah.
When she looked
Yeah.
ugly, I was like, what?
I couldn't believe that. I didn't even know
Hancock.
who
I
she
thought
was.
you were talking about an Alfred
Hancock,
Hitchcock movie.
yeah.
I'm like, what,
No, I
what
didn't
kind
even
of
know who she
reference
was.
is
My
that?
girlfriend was like, if you saw this girl in real life, or if you saw this girl in any other movie, you'd think she's hot. And I was like, no, I wouldn't.
No
This girl's
way.
gross.
That-
And I had seen her in other movies, and I didn't
Yeah.
even know it was the same actress. And then she showed, like, we Googled her, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
I
she
saw her in
gained weight.
that movie with, God, I'm so bad with names. Who's the guy who goes, whoa, all the time?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, in that movie where he played a lawyer, worked for the devil.
Oh yeah, Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, and she was his wife, and she wouldn't really known that. And I was like, this girl's going to be a star.
Yeah.
So she's so gorgeous.
She was
Yeah.
in, I
She's
just
like-
saw
she's a
Young
model.
Adult the other night.
Young adult.
And the way she is
the
in
one
that
Patton?
movie is how Eliza Schlesinger is, like, on tour.
Why? How?
It verbatim.
Why?
Like, just the way they walk and the way they're all, like, never...
You don't get along with
happy.
Eliza?
Well, it was just I've worked with her for a long time on that tour, and the demeanor was the exact same.
Pouty.
just kind of like walking around like all hot girl, but like doesn't try. Like,
Yeah.
we know you're attractive, but like, why are you?
Eliza dresses down. I was looking at her the other day at the factory, and I'm like, you're wearing clothes that are like. Somebody said this. Maybe I shouldn't say who, but the joke was, I'm a medium, so give me some large.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, just
Wait,
to try
yeah,
to not
she's
look
like
hot.
she's the worst dressed millionaire I've ever met in my life. It's like
What?
seeing Russell Peters eating at a mall food court. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, which he does all the time.
Which I did see
Yeah.
him at a mall food court.
Yeah.
That's the problem with dating pretty girls is they're like way bitchier.
Oh yeah,
Don't you find that? Like they're
entitled sometimes.
Yeah, they have more. No, because you said a
I
food
wouldn't have anything to
court.
compare it to. Yeah,
You said like a food court.
some girls will go like,
No, this girl.
serious.
Okay, listen to this. Listen how stupid this is. This girl came down. Did you meet Jasmine? She's down here. She came down. She lived in Oakland, right? And she's like a very diva-ish chick.
No
And-
one should ever be diva-ish from Oakland.
Yeah, I know exactly. But she.
the standards are lower there. You
Don't
can be
make
a
no
7
sense.
and just dominate.
We're driving around. I think this is hilarious. We're driving around, and we were already planning on going to dinner at like a really nice place in Beverly Hills like that night.
Yeah.
So I was just like, she's like, I'm hungry. Like, do you want to get some food? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, where do you want to eat? And she's like, I don't care. I just want to like get some food. I'm like, oh, and we're right near like the Glendale Galleria, which has like a big food court.
Perfect.
So I was like, oh, do you want to just like grab something and go? Glendale Galleria has like a big food court or whatever, right? And so she goes like. She's like, I don't know. Or she said okay or something, right? So we go there, and then she's like, this is a mall. And she's like, you want me to eat mall food? And I was like, Glendale Galleria, first off, mall food is like, yeah, they have a McDonald's and like a hot dog on a stick. They also have like nice,
It's not
like,
gruel.
yeah, they also have like
fucking-
yeah, it's not prison food.
Anything that ends in food, I would hope you'd eat. Like,
Yeah.
if it's fucking food.
But they have nice things there.
This
They have
ain't a
like,
first date. Relax, bitch.
yeah, they have like exactly. It wasn't first date. It was like they have Mediterranean grill. Like they have like good stuff.
Variety.
Yeah, that you can get a salad and shit. So she just goes like, I'm not eating at a mall. She got like a horrible mood, and I was like, you're being very fucking weird about this. And I go, fine, whatever. Down the street, there's Americana. I would go to Americana, which is an outdoor mall,
Yeah.
and she goes, this is so much better. And I'm like, you know this is a mall without a roof, right?
Sorry, Mrs. Streisand.
Yeah, I go, this is a mall, too. This is another mall.
I
And she
gave
goes,
back-
this isn't mall food. I'm like, if they put a ceiling, you would fucking hate
It's
it
the
here.
same food. It's the same food. They get it
Right.
from the same place.
Exactly.
They're combined. I gave Natasha once. I had this bottle of wine, not $2 Chuck, but like $4 Chuck, whatever.
Yeah.
It
By the
was.
way, this is a gal who wears gloves on stage that he's about to tell a story about.
But yeah, and she's same thing, sort of entitled. And I was told her I got it for $4 on a recommendation from another hot girl.
Yeah.
So she likes the wine, and she's like, "Ari, this is disgusting. You can tell it costs $4. Like it's just
So what?
has some class." The next time she came over, or 2 times later, I gave her that same bottle of wine.
And you said it was expensive.
Yeah, the same not even the same brand. I just the same bottle. And I was like, "This is $26." She goes, "Yeah, see, you can tell the difference. It's way better."
That's a oh my! It's
and I didn't
all
feel like telling her like,
so
I
frustrating.
got you. I'm like, I
That's
didn't
like
want
when
to deal
Penn
with
and
it.
Teller did that thing with the organic food people, and they're like
yeah.
outside the whole Foods place, or whatever, and they're just like, oh, I can tell, like, you know,
They
it's
put
just
tap
it's
water and,
better,
like,
yeah,
placebo
it's better.
effect, yeah.
They cut a banana in half, not an organic banana, and they go, all right, try each one and tell me which one. And these organic food people were like, this one is definitely the organic one. It's just much sweeter. You can tell it's a natural taste. She goes, this one you can tell has just been injected. They just let them talk out their ass
keep
for like
going.
minutes,
Sure.
and they finally go, it's the same banana and it's not organic. And they were like, oh. Like, after
They
they
didn't
fucking
try to like justify. Like,
Yeah,
I knew it.
yeah, no, they didn't. They were just like, oh, they said
what do you say?
90%
I
of
was
them were
kidding.
wrong.
Yeah.
They said 90% of them couldn't guess.
That's why I love the Pepsi challenge. Remember that?
Oh, you would drink Pepsi or Coke?
Yeah, but they didn't ask you to tell which one's better. They just said which one's Pepsi. It was when they had the Pepsi Gotta Have It challenge and
You
the
even
and
knew
the
the
just
difference?
do it. Yeah, just like this one's Pepsi, that one's Coke. They're like, cool, here's a T-shirt.
That's hilarious.
I told my mom I could tell which color an M&M
Can you
was.
just differentiate these?
Yeah.
We don't care about your preference. We
Well,
just
there's
want to make
douchebags
sure.
in college working for $12 an hour. They're like, I don't care.
They
I don't have any
spit-
allegiance
they
to
spit out
Pepsi
Pepsi, they go,
Cola Company.
Pepsi, that one was Pepsi.
Ugh.
How much do you guys? Okay, I just thought about this. If you guys went to prison, like you would definitely get raped. Like
I
you'd
think
be
about
the,
this every day.
Do you? Have you ever had that thought? I thought because I was weak, I'd probably get it. I'd be the rape victim. But you
No,
guys would definitely.
I'd get fucked up in prison a lot of different ways.
You would get what?
I'd get messed up a lot. I was just telling Jeff, because my
What?
cousin was in and out of prison his whole life, and he used to tell me, like, if like someone like wants to fight you, like if I have a problem with you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck you, Ari Shaffir, like we're fighting, and you're like, I don't feel like fighting, I don't have a problem with you, then you'll get jumped. Because everyone's
weakness?
like, fuck, yeah, because they'll be like, this guy doesn't want to fight, he's not a man. Like, so then you either have to fight someone one-on-one or you get jumped. And I just like know that I get my ass beat every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
I know a guy. I won't say his name. and I'm not saying his name because I'm sure he wouldn't want anyone to know this. He went to jail or prison, and he got raped a lot.
Yeah.
And he was, by everyone's standards, not attractive. Like, it doesn't matter. No one's ever said he was hot in his life.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm hot, but people have told me I'm better looking than this creep.
And they made him a punk.
And I'm pretty sure I would get, yeah.
By the way, one of my favorite websites, if you guys want to check this later, is spr.org. It stands for stopprisonrape.org.
Yeah.
And if you have any sort of like a capacity of not caring or shutting yourself off to feelings, it's hilarious.
Really?
Because it's all these like poems by these people.
Oh my
that have been
goodness.
raped about. There was
What's
one
it
poem.
called?
spr.org.
How do you find out about that?
David Taylor told me about it. He got
That's
fired
hilarious.
from his job in a startup internet company because he kept telling people about it.
Well, I think about strategies.
I'm laughing.
Like
I don't know.
would like. There was some comic I think that said this, but it's true. Like I would just poop myself all the time.
Oh yeah.
I would just never not be pooping myself. I'd rather be comfortable with
I'll just get a
poop
rash.
all over
yeah,
me
that's a good idea.
than
being raped.
being raped. I just don't want that to happen so much that I'd be willing to do anything else.
Getting raped would just
the
be
best
fucking
the
worst.
best poem in there was a poem about, I think it was called The Number 7, and it was about the 7th guy in a gang rape. But this guy leaned in and said, "This will all be over soon. Sorry about this," or something, and that's when he fell in love. When the guy was gentle with him in some way.
Unbelievable.
It's so weird.
It is pretty weird. Especially that just happens. Like, why is this? I don't
It's
think
so
that's,
not fair.
You're just supposed to be in a cage.
You
That's
go
it.
to
You're not supposed
jail
to get raped
for like
or beaten.
stealing an ATM or something, and that's
Yeah.
a life of butt rape. Like it's not fair. Like it just doesn't seem
Well,
fair. at
some
all.
of them it's fair.
I think maybe I just come in the first day just talking about stories of how I raped dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
But like
I
the
don't
last
think
time when I was
anyone
raping some
believes me,
dude, it was just so fun.
I'm
Maybe
not
they
a
would
very
leave me
strong
alone.
guy naturally, dude. I get pushed around. I get fucking. This is a sad thing. This is a sad topic.
Okay,
I
let's
just
move
feel
on.
like I'm.
I'd just start raping everyone. That's what I'd be like. Now I'm the new.
I would get raped.
I guess I would rather. At what point? How many rapes do you have to do before you just get a boner on your own? Just see a guy's butt and be like, "Yeah, I'm hard."
I don't think I ever could.
The thing I don't
3?
understand about it is because
You
like
would.
a
Everybody
lot.
changes in there.
You think so?
I think everybody changes in there. Nobody goes in there thinking, "Yeah, I'm into dudes a little bit."
Sure.
Yeah.
But
It's
then
like
they get it,
prison
so
gay.
then,
Like it's
yeah.
the culture of it.
Yeah, it's like that
well,
prison
he is
gay
the
thing.
hottest guy here.
That's all we got.
Yeah, like I'm
I
never
got a
gonna
boner
see
for
a
something.
chick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Guess
it's
maybe,
like
I
a
don't
prison
know.
gay thing where it's not gay. That's what I don't get though. Like I'd still rather jerk off. I don't see me. I know I've never been in prison. I don't see me going to prison going like, yeah, I guess I'll fuck that guy in the ass. Like
Maybe there'd be
'Cause I
some
don't-
like system like where I'd be like, all right, listen, guys,
What?
only hand jobs. All right, that's all I can do. I'm not
Just
ready
give a lot of
for.
hand jobs.
I will give hand jobs.
Just
And I'll
offer
be
up
in
We're
hand
jobs.
starting at this. All right, this
I'll
is
touch
all.
your cheek as I
I'm
do
not
it.
ready.
That helps. Yeah. I'm not ram worthy.
That's a good strategy. That's better than the
Something.
poop
I
thing.
negotiate.
You don't
or
have to
something,
poop
I don't know.
yourself. You just have to jerk a bunch of dudes off every day.
Like, listen, I'm the best. Just hear me out.
I had a joke about this that if I was getting raped, I would ask the guy, because this would be a way better, I'd ask him to pull out and blow it on my face. Because I just don't want to get cum in my ass. I think he'd appreciate the option that he normally
He'd
doesn't
be
get.
like, oh, this guy's into some weird
Yeah.
stuff.
I'd be like, "Oh, stop this. Once it's happened, he's like, okay, give it to me, Papa.
Yeah, he's like, what? Something changed.
Do ugly chicks buy you guys drinks? Has it ever happened? Do you get bought drinks a lot? Do you go to bars? You go to bars, dog.
I get bought a lot of drinks from guys at the comedy shows that are like, hey, let me get you a beer.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
saying like, they want to talk. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
That's
but
how you
I
just turn
still
down
say
drinks
yes.
from guys.
I just
Still say
drink
yes.
it and talk to them.
I'm like, I don't want you to own me for 7 minutes while I
Right.
drink this beer.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
like a ticket for more.
I just
Yeah.
go like, I get free ones from the club, but that's
that's
cool.
smart,
It's a
yeah.
good offer, but thank you anyway.
I don't think girls usually do. Every now and then they do. So I remember girls used to be like after shows when I was with Pablo, they'd be like, "So like blah blah blah, we should hang out." They'd go, "Do you want to buy me a drink?" And I'd be like, "Why would I buy you a drink when you're the one who wants to hang out with me?" And it'd be funny because like that would usually work
Wow.
because you can't like, give the power back.
Would you watch them just turn like?
They wouldn't turn. They would just be like, "Oh well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, okay." And then they'd buy me a drink.
She's like, I've never
Wow.
considered buying.
You can't
someone
buy
else
them a drink
Yeah,
after
yeah,
you have the
Never even
power.
thought-
I guess I could do that.
Yeah.
Wow, you're really thinking outside the box here.
But because if they want to hang out with you and then you go, "Oh yeah, I'll buy you a drink," then all that show you just did and being on stage,
Gone.
that's just fucking gone.
Oh wow.
I don't
Good
know.
point. I guess so.
I don't know.
So do women get mad when you reject them?
Like I
You didn't
said,
answer this.
no, I was saying it earlier. Like they're creative about rejection.
I know you've had like.
All right, what do you think? Like girls are like, "Hey Jeff, you want to fuck?"
I've
And then
only
we're
seen
like,
both
"No,"
of you
they're
as
like,
super.
"Fuck this."
sex and like
Yeah.
just get mad.
Well, yeah. Or if you go out with them 3 times, like I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh
do
yeah,
they get
they
obsessed?
get crazy that way.
Oh yeah,
That's
if you,
very
like, date
true.
a girl.
Yeah,
for
not
a
just
couple
one
months?
girl at a bar, but like
Yeah, no,
when you have to
there's
like say
been
I'm
girls.
done with this or this isn't that serious.
Oh yeah, girls will just pop up out of nowhere too. Like
What do you mean?
a girl like you'll hang out with or whatever. Like you'll even if you didn't even like sleep with them or do anything, like that you just were talking to them or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they'll like show up like months later at a comedy show, and you'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Just
like,
surprise you
Yeah,
to, like-
and it's so frustrating, especially when you have a girlfriend. That she'll be
Oh.
like, "What's that about?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's some old shit. And nothing's going on. It's not weird. Like I can't plan when these things just pop up. You know, like
I don't know.
I don't. So you don't think you're good looking?
your ex-girlfriend, she didn't like.
What?
I don't even know if you're back with her or not. But
No, no.
weren't there like crazy times of like when you guys were broken up, like of her?
Just getting super angry
She
about
felt
it.
rejected and all that. You
Oh
know?
yeah, well, 'cause I broke up with her, so that's
Right.
like a rejection.
Well, that's
yeah.
what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And then I would go.
I
and
think a lot of girls aren't, especially super hot chicks. Like, what do you mean? No, nobody rejects me.
Oh, I had a
Like,
girl.
no.
This is you guys talking about that. The girl that like I've been dating lately. We were just up in Big Bear, and like she woke me up at 4 a.m, like the middle of the night. I was sleeping. I was finally getting like good sleep, and she's like, "Chad, wake up." She's like, "I want to have sex," and I was like, "What?" I go, "Fucking no!" I go, "I'm sleeping," and then like a couple minutes later, she started kissing my face, like trying to make out with me. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm trying to sleep." And then the next morning, I kind of remembered it, and I was like, "Hey," and then she was like, shrugged off.
Super angry.
She got all mad, and then like I was like, "Are you mad at me?" And I go, "It was like 4:20 in the morning. I go, it's the middle of the night." And she goes, "I've never been turned down for sex." And I have had a couple girls that I've turned them down for sex, and they've been like, "I've never been turned down for sex." And I'm like, well, "Who are you fucking?" I go, "There's
Yeah,
guys
they're
out
used
there
to
that
dating
will
regular dudes who would never turn that down.
I've had girls where like as soon as I'm done like having like I come, they're like, "All right, you like get it back up," and I'm like, "What?" I go, "What am I fucking 16 years old?" I go, "I'm done. Like I don't need to go again." And she's like, "This last guy I was dating," she goes, "He'd fuck me like 9 times a day." I'm like, 9 times in a day?
Well,
You're the
kudos
only one
to
who-
him.
Yeah, seriously, go back
Stop
to I
dating
told
robots.
Yeah, I go back to that guy.
Yeah,
I
he
go, I don't
sounds
know
way better.
anybody that goes 9 times in a day that can fuck.
And consistently.
What, does this guy not have a job? Like, how are you fucking for? Even if you fuck for 10 minutes at a time, that's an hour and a half broken up.
Yeah, it's like we did it. We're done.
Yeah,
That's it.
maybe if you keep me up, you can eventually like I'll
Do it
get
again.
hard again.
Let's watch 2 or 3 movies.
I had to tell. I was married for a little while once, and I had to tell my wife, it's like, if you want to fuck and I'm not in the mood, if you just start blowing me,
That's what I said to the girl.
I will be in the mood.
That's what I said to her.
Yeah.
She goes, "I can't believe you turned me down." I go, I go, "If you really want to have sex," she goes, "I don't know what to do to like wake you up." And I'm like, "Well, kissing my face." I go, "My mom used to do that to wake me up in
Kissing
the
the
morning
wrong
when I
part
was a
of
kid."
my body.
Yeah, I go, you should have just started sucking my dick. That would have got me in the mood. That's the same thing.
Do
Guys are
something
easy.
super sexual.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, that's the myth is that like sex is supposed to be like spontaneous, like
Fuck you.
it's supposed to be this romantic like, oh, we're both like now it's this, but it's not. It's not like that. Like,
No, that's
like,
movie shit.
Yeah, it's
That's
not.
movie
It's
weird.
not reality. It's,
Yeah. Way more. I talk to someone like, hey, you want to come over tomorrow and do it? And then that's it. That's how you do
there
it.
you go.
That's why I was talking to Brian Moot the other day and
Yeah.
Slater, and I was talking about how I don't like condoms, and then like who's that little girl they're friends with who looks like a little kid but she's really nice.
Esther?
I don't know.
Name is- I don't know.
I don't know who.
And she, I don't know.
A girl?
I think you're friends with too. Anyway, so this girl just like is like, "Oh my god, you never were condoms."
Emily Bix.
Yeah, Bix.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
Pet and all that.
Yeah. And so then I go, "Did you guys ever watch a Richard Gere movie and watch him put on a condom before he fucks?" I go, "Look,
That never happens in movies.
That's hilarious.
There's no
There's never been
romantic
a
scene in
condom
a
in
movie where
movies.
it's like the music started and then he's goes, "Oh, 1 second."
Dude,
Yeah.
there's a bit there. You should definitely do that as a bit.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah.
you should. That's hilarious. I've never seen that or
Right.
noticed that it's not been
The
there.
only
Ryan
time there's a
Gosling,
condom-
like has to like fumble
Yeah.
around and be like, "You got one? Do it."
The
I'll
Notebook?
go, or it's in the drawer. Like,
Yeah, at the second half of the movie, The Notebook, when like she comes back or whatever, Rachel McAdams isn't like, "Well, you've been fucking this other girl. Do you know if she's clean?" Like that
Yeah,
never
yeah.
even comes up. They just
Yeah.
fuck.
and his dirtbag military or her
Yeah.
dirtbag military fiance or whatever. I'm sure he is boning all
Yeah.
those.
In movies,
Yeah.
nobody ever says, you got to pull out. Not in
The
film.
only time
Yeah.
there's a condom in a movie during a sex scene is if it's a comedy and it's a joke
comedy.
about the fucking condom
Right.
not
Like
in
working
Swingers,
and I don't know
yeah.
how to put a condom on.
knocked up or whatever. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of this, my new sponsor is adamandeve.com.
There you go.
If you need, I guess do they sell condoms, do you think?
Yeah, probably. Who knows?
Probably. Or
What's
anything you
that?
need with
They're
them.
probably free.
It's like
I
a
don't
porn website. Not porn,
Oh.
but they sell like dildos and fleshlights and I don't
Oh,
know,
sex
whatever else
stuff.
you need. Swings.
know. Whatever you need.
Swings.
Yeah.
You got to be making good money and have a nice place to be able
be able to
to put a
afford that
sex
stuff?
swing. in a room where like not everyone walks in and sees it. Like think about how much money.
This chick I went out with recently told me she can tell when there's like a hook in the ceiling of it's a sex swing hook.
She can identify just evidence.
Yeah, she's seen it, and she's like, I know what that is. You have one in the closet. You're gonna want to bring it out.
Hilarious.
Or it's a ghetto chandelier.
Just a hook, waiting to get a light bulb.
I usually put a plant on that. Like, I hang a plant.
At what point would you be bored enough to be like, I need a sex swing?
Anybody with long sleeves does heroin in her eyes.
That's what I don't understand. And maybe I'm
it's
just
not boredom.
I didn't have sex till I was 21.
Really?
Yeah, that's
really.
True.
Whoa.
I was 23,
Nothing.
but I was like mostly neck until I became that age.
Not even a blowjob, like nothing, you know?
What?
Yeah, that's true. So maybe I'm just not at this point yet, but I feel like everyone is so much more sexually deviant than me. Like
How
with
old are you now?
swings and stuff like that and all this different. Or everybody talks about anal sex. Like I have no interest in
I've no
any
interest
of
in anal
that.
sex either.
I did it once with my
Unless
wife.
I'm in prison,
just
and then I
because
guess
she was
I'm
like,
doing
you've never done it. You should try it. I'll let
Sure.
you do it with me. But she wasn't like into it. So
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to hurt you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
I just don't understand. I feel like maybe I'm like out. Like I'm not in the majority.
I
with
talked to
all this stuff.
Belladonna about this because I was like, and she goes, I'd rather ass fuck than regular sex.
Really?
Yeah. She goes, it feels better for me than the other way. 'Cause
Really?
I enjoy vaginal sex, whatever you call it. Is that what
I have
you
a
call it?
buddy
Probably.
who like. There's some guys who are like.
I call it regular sex.
Regular sex. Sex. That's what sex is.
Yeah, I have this buddy who like. Some guys are just like, oh yeah, like every now and then it's cool to like just like put in a girl's ass, and I'm like, I've never done every now and
I
then,
don't
but whatever.
understand
I don't get it. The vagina's right there.
Do you ever
it's
eat
ready.
ass when you're down there?
Huh? I'll get to that in a second. But I just want to say, I have one buddy who will. He prefers it. Like he fucks in the butt. And I'm like, dude, I've never
So
met.
much?
I've had so much sex. I've never met a girl who's like sticking in my ass. I go, do you bring it up? And then it like.
Yeah. How do you broach that subject?
Yeah, like he'll like have a one night stand, and I'll be like, "How'd that go?" And he's like, "I fucking fucked you in the butt." I'm like, "What?"
Maybe
How
you
did-
just
On
pretend.
a one night stand?
Maybe
Yeah.
you just pretend like you missed. You know, you're like.
But here's the thing about him.
That's how you broach it. You don't even
What?
talk
Oh,
about
yeah,
it.
you
You're just
missed.
like, ah.
You just
Usually
do
that's
it.
how I tell. It's like I'm going a little bit off, and they're like, "No, we're not doing that."
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm like,
That's
all right,
the-
go.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Just starts and then they don't stop it. But the point is, I asked him straight up one time. I was like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have like,
Yeah.
I know you like anal sex. I go, but you'd rather in a vagina? And he goes, no. I go, I prefer in the butt. And I'm like, I think you're gay. I think you're slightly
No,
gay.
that does not make you gay. Gay means you're into male like faces, and so the only way you can fuck is in the
Why
ass.
would you prefer fucking a girl in the butt when a vagina is so much nicer? It's
Why would you
cleaner.
fuck getting
it
why would you
has,
prefer getting a blowjob?
huh?
Why would you prefer getting a blowjob sometimes? Sometimes it's just
Because you're
different.
lazy.
Oh yeah, there is that.
That's why we like blowjobs. I like a blowjob because I'm not doing anything except getting my dick sucked.
Or
at
to break
that
up the
moment.
monotony during the sex. Like, yeah, blow it for a minute, then we'll go back to
And about eating ass, I've only ate one girl's ass, my ex.
only one.
She had a very clean asshole, though.
Yeah, if they're fresh out of the shower, I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it wasn't like we didn't go on a hike
Yeah,
first.
seemed like you're into it.
Polite. Sure, yeah, of course.
I feel like if I'm going down and they sort of like push up a little bit, I'm like, oh, you want this?
It was as I was eating her.
I had a girl in Montreal do that, where we're all having sex, and it was like, eventually, I was like, do you want me to fuck you in the ass? Like, it just seemed like she kept
Yeah,
pushing that, and she goes, you better. And I was
Whoa.
like, oh wow, all right.
Holy.
But if I get that reaction from a girl,
Did
then I'm
you?
like, what? I couldn't.
I'd lose my
I couldn't
erection if
get
a
it in
girl
there.
fucking said that. I think I'd be like, "You want me to fuck you in the butt?" I think this is
My
weird.
girlfriend gets mad. She got all
No, I
mad. She's
feel
like,
the
why don't
opposite.
you want to?
Why don't you want to?
Because she also was thinking I'm not normal. She's never done it,
Yeah.
and I've never done it.
she thinks you're
and
like
I was like, I don't want to. And she's like, what? Why? Everyone else talks about it. Like, you don't even want to like try it. And I was like, nah. Like, it's
Yeah,
not.
you know, I was about
And
to
she's
try
like,
it.
all right, yeah, I guess I don't need. Like, I don't. I was just thought you would want it, and you didn't. Like, she thought I was like holding back.
Oh.
Like, oh, you probably want to, like all these other guys, and you just haven't yet. And I'm like, nah, I don't have any desire to.
Yeah.
That's
Just
like,
everybody's different. That's all it is.
another thing about my ex. Like her butt was so tight. I remember sometimes just trying to fuck with her and like stick my pinky up her butt. I got like maybe
yeah.
up to the nail. I have a skinny little pinky, dude.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm like, how's my dick? What my dick would never that would like
Yeah.
hurt her so bad.
That's one thing. Whenever I see that in pornos, anal, and it's like they have to put lube on, and like slowly
Ugh.
work it, and it's almost like twisted. I'm like, dude, it's been like 3 minutes while you're
Yeah.
trying to get that in there.
And it
At that
looks
point, my
painful.
boner's gone.
Yeah,
and also like that would hurt my wang. Like it just
Yeah,
it would
trying to
hurt.
shove it into something.
Yeah, I'm not into like.
I'm not into hurting people
I
or
don't look
myself.
at things and go, I wonder if I can shove
Fit
my
this in there.
dong in that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't, like it just seems like pain.
I'm against empty spaces.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I don't need all that.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not that kinky. I think when I was younger, I was like, I always want to do like kinky shit during sex. Like you said, like you're just like not at that stage yet. I think you just get over it.
I'm really
Yep.
into choking. I've gotten more and more into it.
There you go.
I just
It's evolved.
It's
You need
just
to
something
save
that
that
once it
stuff.
happens, you're like, whoa, I like this. I didn't realize. Yeah, I love it.
There you go. That's
Dude,
hilarious.
my buddy like hooked up with this girl, and then like I guess he like when they didn't have sex, but like when he's hooking up, he was like doing some like choke thing to her.
Yeah.
And then like she kept asking the girl that I knew, like, oh, how did then she kept hitting at Sean, my friend, and she was like, can you do that choke thing? Like, how do you do that choke thing? Can you describe to me how you did it? And Sean was like,
It's
Choke.
choking.
yeah, he goes, I don't know. He's texting me going, dude, this girl won't shut the fuck up. She keeps blowing up my phone about how did I choke her. I told him like, if you want to fucking hook up again, I'll do it again. Like, and she's like, no, can you just like describe to me like what? And just like why? He's like, I don't know. Leave me alone.
Oh, she wanted to do it to herself. She wanted
No,
to
she
Yeah,
wanted
exactly,
to
like, you
coach your boyfriend.
Yeah, it's just
coach
like-
a different guy.
You got to find a guy that's into it too. If you're a girl, you got to find a guy that likes it. Because if he does it just to do it, it ain't the same as like.
I've had girls say
I
like
like to
choke
hold
me.
it, and then when a girl like tries to pull my hand away, like enough, I can't breathe. I like to hold it for 2 or 3 more seconds to let them know I'm in control here.
My favorite thing to do is just hold it there until they're out, entirely, and then that rush of trying to go find somewhere to dump the
Yeah.
body. That's
Put them in a
always fun.
plastic bag, and then they wake up in it, freaking out,
I used to
and then
hook
you
up-
rip it open, going, "Funny joke."
I used to hook up with a chick who her ex-boyfriend liked getting choked, and his rule was, if you put me out, you better be fucking me when I wake up. And I was like, whoa.
That's the best.
Whoa.
That's the
You're
best
into
That's
it
a
stuff.
dark.
I love
Yeah.
hearing about like dudes that are weird through girls. This one girl was like, she's like, "Hey, when you come, do you want me to grab your balls and squeeze and pull them?" And I'm like, "No."
No?
And she goes,
Who
"That's
else
what-"
you been boning?
yeah." She goes,
Yeah.
"She's like the last guy I was with was really into that." And I'm like, "That's so fucking
You
weird."
dated Darth Vader? I don't know, like, who's into that?
I think it's on.
Pull
like,
my balls, dude. They're so sensitive. Like, leave them alone.
I had a
unless
girl
you're
right when I was
sucking 'em.
gonna come, like soon she would just sort of play with them. She would reach around. Like,
Oh, I
sit
like
on
that
top of it,
shit.
And I was like, this is cool.
That fucking feels great.
Yeah.
I like that.
cool.
I have a couple girls do that. They're like riding you, and then they just reach their hand back, start playing with your balls.
Yeah,
as
just
you're fucking
tickling them.
That's great.
Toss them around, make them like
Yeah,
little stress
don't
balls.
don't squeeze them and pull them.
Oh,
like
yeah.
those are like my kids.
I'm not
you know
a
what I mean?
cow. I'm not
It
fucking
is funny
out the
that
stud.
it gives you like a nice peek of like what she's been with. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want me to like bite your dick? You're like, no, that sounds awful.
I'm such a saint to the girl that I'm dating now because she's like the last guy.
How
was
long you
like,
been with her?
I don't know. We're
don't know.
like whatever. Anyways,
Go ahead.
this
Sorry.
girl. I don't know if she listens to Septic Tank.
Probably
But,
she doesn't.
uh,
Skeptic.
Skeptic Tank. Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
And no, but she goes, the last guy she was with, like on her birthday, was like he went out to dinner with like her and a couple of her girlfriends. And this guy, I've never heard like this move before. I've heard like not
It's gonna
paying
be
for.
easy to figure out who this girl is if the last guy she went out with on her birthday. So if you know Jeff,
No, it wasn't me. So this guy says to her friends when the check comes, "Hey guys, I think if we all pitch in, she won't have to pay for her meal." Like he wasn't even down to pay like $20 for her meal at the restaurant on her birthday. He was and right in front of her, he goes, "If we all pitch in like some money, she probably won't have to pay anything."
probably.
It's just like, and then so I'm the next guy she's dating, so I'm like the nicest guy alive to
Oh,
her.
yeah.
By comparison,
Yeah.
there
Oh,
you
it's
go.
the best dating somebody.
She doesn't have
after-
to rip on
after
my
they've been
balls.
just abused.
Oh my goodness.
You're like, you picked me up for a
Yeah.
bitch? Like, oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love when girls
Isn't
as soon
this
as you
standard?
finish having sex, like, should I leave? And you're like, oh, jeez, you can if you want. You're welcome to stay. I don't.
Yeah. Don't you want to cuddle for a couple minutes while I stare at the clock for
This
10
is
minutes?
really
It's like adopting a dog who has just been through some horrible shit.
my favorite question
All
for you
that-
guys was from Adam Hammer, and it's not even a real question. But he goes, when girls fuck you, do they keep their eyes open?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. You know that guy? He's funny.
Yeah, I'm friends with Adam.
This really went far away from you guys being good looking because I don't think you guys realize you're good looking. I think it's that. I think you have no idea.
First off, Jeff is way better looking than me.
Jeff
I
is
go,
stunning.
That's not true.
Jeff Dye
at
is
all.
stunning.
I go to auditions sometimes because, like, in comedy, I'm really good looking in comedy. So, like,
For a comic, you're
my
hot.
agent,
Maybe it's that.
yeah,
That's what it is.
my agents,
No,
and
not
managers,
with you, Die.
not with you, Di.
No.
My agents and managers will send me on auditions for like really good looking guy, and if you fucking live in Hollywood, there's like I show up, there's like all these model dudes, and I'm like, okay, like I know I'm good looking, but like I'm not as good looking as these guys. I feel like if you hang at those auditions,
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, like when I go to audition, there's hot girls. Like, yeah, sweet, I'll hang out here for a while.
Yeah.
That's what girls think about your auditions.
well, I feel like I went to an audition for that L'Oreal thing with the Jessica Biel thing. The only reason
I've never
I,
been called in for a L'Oreal audition. just so
or
you know.
Revlon or whatever
Yeah.
it was, something like that.
Any beauty product.
And
They're like, you're here by
they
the
were
steak.
all models. None of them were actors or comedians or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. And I felt so intimidated, but I think that what I felt most intimidated in there was fashion wise, like
Oh,
clothing,
yeah.
like they're like wearing all this designer stuff.
That's probably why
like
Catherine
that.
Bigelow loved you though, because all those dudes probably walked in with like their model bullshit, and you
Yeah.
walked in, you're like a nice.
I was like goofing around. I
fun
was like,
guy,
actually,
like-
was I
Yeah,
first
maybe
thing
it's
I
that. You
said to
stood
her,
out.
I said to her, I was like, so what are you keeping that thing in your purse? Let's see it, because she just won the
Oscar
for Hurt Locker, and I was like, what are you keeping in your purse or something? I would. Let me see that thing. Bust it out. And she was like just laughing, and I said something else.
It's amazing
too.
how for an audition you just treat them like real people.
Yeah, like
just make some
humans.
jokes. They're just like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's also how I used to get jobs. Like when I used to be like work at a video store or like a restaurant or something. If you like goofed around and joked with the person trying to hire you, they'd be like, "Oh, this guy should get the job. He's easy to talk to."
Yeah, he's
You
fun. Bobby Lee gave me that advice when I started auditioning. Like, just commercial. He goes, just be the guy they want to have at their Christmas party.
Yeah, just goof around.
That's it.
It's so true.
50 people can do it
Or I
right.
think.
So just be the one they want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm shocked when a girl likes me before she sees me perform.
Me too. I got to that point where I'm like, I can't get like a regular, like an outside.
Yeah.
But that's all you do, though. You're a performer.
Yeah, I know, but that's how I usually meet people. But like that girl, I dated this girl who's like a Maxim model, and she's on America's Next Top Model stuff. And
Jesus Christ! And you really don't think you're good looking?
No, but this is the thing that like really boosted my my confidence. Not because she was so great, or she's a really nice girl, but like. She's like, before the show I saw you walking by and I didn't know you were a comedian or anything. I was like, that guy's fucking hot. I'm like, oh really? I didn't realize I was that good looking that I can just walk around.
Yeah,
in
you don't
LA.
realize, dude. You're a good looking girl. A Maxim model told you were really hot.
No, but she told it to me after the show, after whatever. But she did tell me like, yeah, she's like, I saw you walking around. And I was like, well, and I'm just like, oh really? That's very flattering because I know I'm attractive after I do a show.
David Taylor has this theory that every guy, like successful comedians anyway, they will, or anybody who cheats will cheat with someone way uglier.
Yeah.
Because than their wife, because when you ever form your sexuality, 16, 17, whatever that is, it's like that's your version of who I can get. That level of girl.
Interesting.
So even though you
I've heard other people
But I was really
still
delusional.
feel-
Okay, so this is interesting. It's to like bang that theory out, or to like just keep working on it. I remember being the most unattractive kid in like junior high. Like big braces and long hair, real not fashionable. I mean, if I'd have cleaned up, like, and somebody gave me some tips, I think it would have been
but no
fine.
one does that
yeah.
for people. They don't
right. I had to figure it out myself. And I remember having the biggest crush on like the hottest girl in our school. And I'm like, realistically, I should have thought like, who the hell do you think you are? Just date Lana. You know what I mean? Like, But in my mind, that was still the girl that I was like going for, and I was like flirting with her or trying to flirt with her, and it just was. So that's interesting.
Wow.
I think because.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way I could have gotten that girl, like, in junior high. But, like, my
no way you
mind
could've.
was still, like, I'm not dating anyone lower than her. Like, my mentality was, like, I was still going for that. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Maybe it's only because when you cheat, it's like it's got to be quick, and you just got to, like, I don't know.
I think if you cheat, if you're gonna feel
You
guilty.
can't show them your fame or your fortune. What?
Like if it's like an ugly chick, or not ugly chick, but like not as attractive, then you like feel like, oh well. If they ever found out, they wouldn't be
That
so-
upset.
they'd be upset, but they'd be like, at least I'm hotter than.
It's
Like
a
they'd
really
keep their
weird
confidence. You know what I mean?
I feel like if I ever cheated
Yeah.
and the girl I was dating found out,
Yeah.
I don't think that girl's looks would come into factor at all. It would be too busy being
the girl
punched
won't
and
admit it,
yelled
but
at
it will.
and-
It will.
It will.
Like if you fuck like Halle Berry, then your girlfriend might be like, "Fucking you fuck Halle Berry." But if you like
What I
fuck some
found- what I
girl that
found
was
is-
like not as attractive as your girlfriend at all, and it's like clear like no one would choose her over
That's
your girlfriend.
hilarious.
I think in the girl's head, she's like, "Well, at least I know I'm still better than that bitch or whatever." But it'll still fuck with her because she'll be like, "Why
I
did
talk
you need
to
to
a lot
go
of
to her?"
girls
really
who just
funny.
break up with. I don't know why. I'm just like a listening guy. So when they just break up with somebody, they want to vent. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody's problem with girls when their boyfriend moves on to a new guy is either he moved on to some ugly girl. What does that say about me?
Sure.
Or he moved on to some really hot girl and she's vapid. So it's like, ugh, I can't believe you got some ugly. Like,
Exactly.
some
There's
hot,
no, like,
a
happy-
dumb person.
Oh,
They're
when
just
I-
mad that they moved on.
Right.
When
That's
I
all
was-
it is.
It's not them. That's why they're mad.
Yeah.
When I was like talking to my ex again, and she would like make it a point to just like rip on the girl she knew, because she would like go and I
would
guess
hooked
look
up with her?
online and stuff, see like certain like she knew like Jasmine. I brought Jasmine down to like a show or something down here, and like every comment was like, dude, that girl's fucking stunning. That girl's so hot. And my ex would be like, I don't even think, her personality on that one video you posted of you guys in San Francisco, like, I don't know, she just like, I showed it to some people, and like, it's just like she felt the need to like rip on her personality, and I'm
they
like,
have to. I showed it to people.
She's like having fun in the video. We're at like the gay pride parade. She's having fun, and she's like, oh, whatever. And then she's like, oh, and I don't think that the other girl, like Clark, like the American Next Top Model girl, she's like, yeah, she's like, I don't know, like, I don't think her face is that cute. I'm just like, yeah, she's ugly. Okay, yeah, she's ugly.
America's Next Top Model girl is ugly.
She's fucking gross. And it's just like, and my ex is my type. Like, I think my ex is prettier than like anybody just because she's like my type.
That's just animal behavior.
But
it's animalistic behavior.
It is.
Like,
it's animalistic.
Feel a need to drag someone down to show my dominance.
I can't stand that like drag people down shit. Like I know my ex
will do that sometimes.
Yeah, if I ever bump into my ex and she's with a new guy, he's gonna be good looking probably. She's fucking hot.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's not, you know what I mean? He's probably gonna be better looking than me because I'm funny. And this guy's probably not funny.
I think that's the X factor.
The funny.
Yeah.
Confidence in a position or something like that.
Yeah,
Once you've been on stage enough and you've killed enough, you're like, I'm good at what I do.
My girlfriend now has a very. I feel like she can get any guy. I really believe that. But like, what makes her keep coming back to me is she'll like when we'd break up, like she would obviously date. I dated.
Oh, they're not funny.
Yeah, and she would be like, "What was so boring? Like he was a very nice guy. I feel like I could trust him.
Yeah,
like he had a lot of like because she has trust issues with me and like my being on the road and things like that and so all the insecurities she has with me,
it's not exciting though.
She doesn't have with these other guys. But she's like, but it was just like boring. Like when we go to like a museum or I take her to a movie theater, like we're constantly like laughing. Like we're always having like a good time. It's fun. Yeah. So I think just dating a comedian in general, like it's fun.
Yeah, there's that.
Not every comedian. Some comedians are fucking. You've met these guys just like they're not fun at all.
I think that you're talking about the guys who get it.
Yeah.
Like the cool comedians.
Or just good comedians.
Yeah,
like confident comedians. Like comedians who know like you were saying, you're like a listening guy. We're like when a girl breaks up, like just now, like I immediately my first thought was, because you're a good comedian. Like you're willing to take that conversation of this girl breaking up with some idiot that you don't care about at all, and you really this girl maybe you don't care that much about either, but you're willing to take that conversation in because you're like, oh, this is interesting little peek into something that I can dissect.
You can learn something
from
it.
I love hearing about that.
And
stuff.
that's like what makes comics better than most people. I think
They're
more
observers.
interesting. We're willing to like go. I watch shows I hate because I just want to be informed about making fun of it. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
I really tried watching the other day. I watched 5 minutes of that show and I was like, "Come on, Dye, get on the air."
Which one?
Not Desperate Housewives.
Extreme
Makeover.
Oh, Extreme Makeover. Yeah, I'm not on every episode, but that show.
Oh, you're not?
Brutal.
Oh.
No.
Oh well.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed. I think just because of like doing stand up, like a girl, like I'll hook up with a lot. I like black girls, so like a lot of.
You do, huh?
Yeah, so a lot of times, like I'll hook up. And this has happened more than once. So it's not like a fluke. I'll hook up with like a girl will hook up with me and be like really into me, that only likes black guys.
Here.
And then she'll hook up with me, and then she'll be like, "You're like one of the only white guys I've ever been with, or you're the first white guy, or whatever." And then I'm just like, "Why?" I go, "Why do you think you like me?" And you're usually with like
Chris Rock has a thing about that.
No, and they'd always go like, "Cause you're swagger." They always go, "You have swagger."
Now you're good looking. That's what it is. Chris Rock has a whole thing about that. Like black chicks date black guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll have sex, or they would date Brad Pitt, or like a Jude Law or something like that. But those are like the exceptions. Like those are like really like good looking.
Normally, I only date black guys. Like, of course, most black chicks only date black guys.
Right.
You mostly date inside your race.
I don't know though. My ex is half black, half white. She likes white guys.
Good looking people are like the exception. Like I've never been with a Latino chick, but if there was like a really hot Latino chick, I would make that accept. I'd be like,
You date like light skinned black chicks?
Yeah.
I saw a picture of you once or a video, and I was like, that's the type of black chick I would go for, the ponytail black chicks.
Yeah, my ex is a half black, half white. This girl Jasmine's half black, half white. I go with a lot of half black. The homegirl Angelica, this girl was half black, half white. They're all like, I've hooked up with regular like full black chicks too, but like a lot of half black, half white chicks, they go like one or two ways. They either like only like they embrace like their black side and they really like black guys, or they're like I like white guys and it pisses me off when black guys want to hit on me because I'm like I'm not into you or something.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But I'm not talking about those girls. I'm talking about the black girls that'll have sex with me and be like, I'm usually only into black guys. It's just like, and they all say it's because of swagger, but that swagger is just confidence.
I think it's because they're 24. They've dated 5 people, and they all happen to be in their own race.
Exactly.
That too.
All right. Do you guys have any last words? I really think you guys don't realize how good looking you are. I think you sort of get it, Dye, and I think Geoff Keith, you don't get it.
I think Jeff's like I said,
Jeff Dye is way hotter than you.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on,
when Jeff goes to those auditions, I think he hangs with those model guys. I think you look
right
at Jeff with all of them and go, oh, all these guys. Like I think if Jeff wasn't like goofy and fun, like people would be like, that guy's probably a model too.
Like what are you, 6'5"?
6'4".
Yeah, he's tall as
like
shit,
slim and like
I feel like
God, I'm getting turned on right now.
like I'm flattered, but I think like it gets blown out of proportion. Like I'm flattered, like it's real nice, but I think though my natural like withdrawal from it is like, well, there's
Doesn't really matter. There's more to life. Ugly people obsess
not
about it.
that.
Though. Regular people obsess about their looks.
I think it gets carried away. Like as far as like, I'm in a business that's It's easier to be or not easier, but it's more common to be like to be like a
what? Oh, comedy.
With stand-up comedy.
Oh,
yeah, like stand-up comics aren't typically.
They're hideous.
Right.
They're
it's
monsters.
like me,
But
like
most people are.
They're gremlins.
It's exactly like our basketball league. I'm
Yeah.
not good at basketball, but if you put me in a league full
of
of comics,
You're
like
gonna
I might
stand
be able
out
to hang.
pretty
And
good.
it's the same thing. Like I feel like
Yeah, we're the only guys that can dunk.
I'm a good-looking guy, but you put me in stand-up, and everyone's like, he's gorgeous. It's like, well, I don't.
Here's
think
how I'll explain how Jeff's better looking than me, and Jeff doesn't get.
Okay.
When Jeff goes to get his headshots taken, or like any picture you see of Jeff out,
Yeah.
Jeff's gonna look really good in that picture.
Yeah.
I like a face where like some pictures people will be like, "Whoa, Jeff Keith's looking really hot," but then like half the time it's like, "What the fuck? He just looks like a normal looking dude." That like I have a weird face.
The
And Jeff-
percentage
I think,
of-
What's
I
his
think Jeff,
smudge?
when I get
Oh,
my
it's
headshots
Jeff.
taken, it takes a while before we get somewhere like it all looks good. I feel like Jeff just shows up and it's like 10 clicks.
Use any of
And
them.
we got 4 different shots that we're gonna use.
Perfect. Submit that to the award shows
That'll
for
do.
photography.
for 2011 right there.
That's the difference.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Well-
It is a separate class. Yeah, you're good looking. He's like gorgeous. Maybe. Do
Well, that's flattering.
you want some of that?
Look at this.
Yeah.
Alien weed.
Alien OG. What is it?
Alien OG.
Are you one of those guys that knows all the different types of weed and
I
stuff?
know
Larry?
some types of differences. I know indicas and sativas, and I know purples and OGs. What they'll do for you.
I can't like even talk to people. I don't know anything. They're like,
It just comes with the more you do it.
This one's fun.
I want to do a podcast with someone who really, really knows pot, and so can break it down to everybody.
What's the difference between a head high and a body high? I don't even get that when people say that.
Okay, it's not quite. When they say that, that's not quite what they mean. They don't mean like one you only feel like you get stupid in your head, and one you just feel in your fingertips. It's not that. It's just slightly more all over your body. If you do an edible, a lot of times that's usually
Those
like
take over.
those take over. But
Oh
it's,
my
it's
gosh,
like
yeah,
you can feel your
edibles will
body
mess you
changing.
up.
Whereas if you get high, you don't feel anything in your
You
hands.
should do that Kevin Smith podcast. That guy's got some juvenile 15-year-old obsession with weed. You know, like
Yeah,
he
he
just
does,
started
huh?
smoking. So,
Oh,
like,
yeah, when you
I
just
like
start,
people
people
like you that smoke weed and like you enjoy it or whatever. When you start wearing like marijuana leaf
Yeah,
shirts,
the 420 people.
and everything's up, like you shouldn't. Like I really love steak, but I don't
Yeah.
like go
My
buy
roommate, when I moved out here, was like that.
posters of it in my room. Like, oh, have you ever had steak? You want to eat steak together? It's like
My
nah,
roommate
just
set his alarm for 4:19 in the morning,
grow up.
so
you
he
know
could
what I mean?
smoke pot at 4:20 a.m. and then go back to sleep.
Every day?
A lot.
Just like that
Yeah.
commitment to something that's so trivial.
He's like,
seems
"What? I
so-
like it. Like, I like tomatoes, but I
Sure.
don't wear a tomato shirt."
You don't need it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just seems so strange. So like that's my natural rejection with it.
We should get tomato shirts. That sounds.
We should. Just 215 tomatoes all the time. 215.
It's 2:15, man. You hit up those tomatoes.
I just like having varieties because I know it enough to where it's like different things will do different things for me at different times.
What's it
Before
called?
I eat as
Rogan's-
much as
I've
eat.
listened to Rogan talk about. He's into like all sorts of crazy drugs, isn't he?
He's into like DMT, like psychedelics. a
That
little
shit.
bit.
Yeah. What's that thing?
I haven't had it yet. I know a comic who said he had like 10 doses. He would give me one. And I was like,
That's
yeah,
how
I want to do
people
it.
Kill themselves.
Yeah,
Psychedelics,
that's so
like,
scary.
They think that they can fly. Or
I
What
they-
do you tell me one case you've heard of that other than an after-school special?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all hearsay.
That's all propaganda
But
shit.
I
That doesn't
don't-
really happen.
But hearsay
People
doesn't
OD on
necessarily mean
coke.
it's untrue or true. Like that's just what I'm.
Have you ever
led
even
to believe.
heard of a friend of yours friends doing that?
Yeah, I know a girl that did.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
stand corrected.
One thing, but I mean, I didn't know her that good.
What
but
was
like, they assumed she was on some kind of drug. Like, she woke up in the middle of the night, drove
Yeah.
real far away, and then like jumped off a building. And they were like,
Really?
they have no
What did
reason
toxicology say?
why she would do that.
Jeff goes. I mean, right before that, she asked to have sex with me, and I said no. But
Yeah, I was like,
I know that
listen,
Ambien,
lady.
that Ambien or stuff like that makes you wake up in the middle of the night and hallucinate.
I think it was like pills and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pills
and she
are
thought
different.
she was like sleeping.
But
Yeah.
those aren't hallucinogens.
Yeah, that's not
that
hallucinogen.
DMT thing, I heard
I think it was
Rogan talking
prescription
about
stuff
that.
like that.
That
Yeah.
DMT thing, and he was like, "Everyone should do this. It opens up your mind to all these things that like that sounds so scary."
I'll tell you
to
what, I
me.
do a lot
Harris
more
Whittles-
drugs if I feel like it would help my comedy.
Harris Whittles told me he was afraid of doing DMT because he was afraid of it taking away his edge. because you're going to feel like you connected with everyone and you don't want to be like snarky. And he goes, I need that snarkiness.
That's
why I
so
write jokes.
preposterous.
I just auditioned
Maybe.
for a role.
Yeah, I think so too.
don't want to get along with people because that's my
common.
thing.
That's a UCB thing to say.
What an awful sentiment.
I want to get along
I
with
love the
everybody.
battles people have with UCB comics.
I
like everybody.
intentionally want to be.
Hey, I like everybody too. This is my problem with UCB. I was dating that girl who was on the MTV show with me, and she performed at UCB
What
all the
MTV show
time.
did you do?
Disaster Day. I was on the Hidden
Oh, yeah,
Camera
yeah.
prank show or whatever for a couple seasons. So I was dating her, and she's like really cool. And then like I went to UCB a bunch because she would perform there, and then she'd introduce me to people at like Birds, that bar right next to it. 100% of the guys were assholes to me,
Oh, yeah.
like dicks.
Oh,
If you dude, you
those
introduced
guys
me.
aren't good with women.
But no, but they fucking were dicks. Like,
Yeah.
they weren't nice people. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Like, one guy, I'm like, oh, I saw you on that show. Like, she did show Players on Spike. I'm like, oh, I saw you on that show with Monica. I go, that was, like, really cool. And he's like, yeah, man. And I was like, really, motherfucker? I don't care
realize-
about you.
Who's Monica?
Hollywood,
Monica Keena?
the city of
Huh?
Hollywood
Don't
is
worry about it.
to Brad Pitt. Like Brad Pitt is to
Yeah.
the city of Hollywood the way UCB comics are to Birds.
Yeah, 'cause
like
it's right next
that's
door.
their
Yeah,
celebrity
they run it.
spot to be seen.
Dude,
and
but
to be
they're
whatever.
not nice people. Like, almost all of them weren't nice.
A lot of it's because you showed up with a hot girl. They get weirded out by it.
I bet. You brought it
And
to
they
the
feel
turf.
like they should put you down. They don't even know what they're doing. They feel
Have
like
you,
they should
you
push
guys,
down.
both of you guys, have you ever, like, met somebody and then, like, someone would be like, oh, hey, Jeff, this is Ari, this is my friend. Or have you either, I don't see either of you guys, 'cause you guys are my friends, being like, oh, what's up, man? Okay, I'm better than you.
snub
Like,
them,
I don't,
yeah.
like, we don't do that.
I will tell you this. People have accused me of that before. And I'm like, oh,
Really?
it's probably just I was in the middle of a conversation. I was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. And then I just
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
away. Like,
Yeah,
I
but
wasn't
even your
trying to at
voice
all.
just now
So
was like,
weird.
oh, hey, nice
Or
to
if they
meet you.
look
This-
up to you, then they're like, you must have blown me off. Like, I
Right.
didn't blow you off. I just didn't know you. You knew me. I didn't know
It's
you.
the same thing you were talking about earlier. There's like this need to like tear people down. Like people want that. People want that interaction. Like I met Steve Martin once. He's a dick.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he was not polite for the 30 seconds you've met him.
Yeah, exactly.
His whole life can't be summarized into the 30 seconds
also,
that
not polite
you
means-
met him at a restaurant and
Yeah.
went to his
When he
dinner.
was trying to-
Polite
yeah,
means
he
you
was
didn't,
trying
he
to
didn't
eat.
accommodate you to your level that you would have found satisfactory.
It's so ridiculous.
He probably said hi and a handshake. He's like, can you come over? He goes, oh, my soup's getting cold.
Right, exactly.
I can't go down the block right now. I'm like,
That's
fuck
the-
you.
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
What a dick.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like Twitter and like Facebook. All the social network stuff is like ruined. Like people, like when you get super famous, I feel like it's probably fine. But like for right now, like people see me on TV and be like, or see me at a show and be like, oh, you're so funny. Like give me all these compliments, and then be like, hey, can you follow me back? Hey, can you
I ignore that.
tweet
It's
about
an
tweet about this
expectation, yeah.
thing that I'm doing with my buddies? And
That's
I'm just
people
like,
wanting attention.
why?
No, I don't respond to any of that.
Yeah, you follow no one on Twitter, by the way.
0 people, yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. This
Yeah,
guy,
but I can't stand that though. Like people wanting more than just like, hey, you're a great comedian. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, can you be my friend in real life now? Can you do? It's like that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Like I'm very appreciative to have you
Yeah,
enjoy
I
my
appreciate it.
comedy.
That's great.
Yeah, like
I have
don't-
like 6 friends.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, there's not really much room for some dude from
so
Omaha.
true.
yeah, to be friends with. It's just weird.
You know what Dice did once? I loved it. He he gave away his cell phone number on like Opie and Anthony or something like that, or on some radio show, and he just took calls.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and some guy was like, I don't know if it was on that or online, or some guy was like, hey, I really like we should hang out, and Dice was like, yeah, okay, and Dice started calling this guy like all through the day.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I love
called him
that.
at work and be like, so what are you doing? Until the guy was like, Dice, I can't talk right now. Like he eventually got sick of Dice.
That's incredible. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's so
He just took 100% of his
people
day was
forget
like
that our
hitting on this
job
dude.
is our job's so fun that people forget it's a job. Like they forget like that it's.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying? It's so like that's so funny.
Yeah.
Come on, can you give a shout out to my wife? It's her birthday. I don't know.
Nah.
I'm kind of doing comedy. And
Whenever
stuff.
people tell me that on stage, they're like, yeah, it's these people's birthday if you want to say something. I'm like, no, I prepared a bunch of comedy.
Yeah, no, I got.
I've been working on it for 12 years.
I've got an
I'm not-
agenda up there.
What's
Yeah,
funny
I've got
about your
an
Want
wife's
to make an
birthday?
announcement before the show starts? Go ahead, but that's they
Bring
don't.
her
They
like
don't get to like.
Sunday and sing to her and shit. But I'm not gonna.
And everybody else loses 20 seconds of my act because I have to
Exactly.
put it up for you and your
So
3 friends.
true. If the party's not over 40 people, I'm not gonna dress it.
If it's the whole crowd, like
Yeah,
oh,
if it's a Christmas party
the
or
nurse
something.
convention's
Yeah.
here
You guys
tonight.
don't address it, dude. When people tell that to me, I go up on stage. I'm just a dick about it. I'm just like, oh, Sheila's got a birthday over here. Her obnoxious fucking husband came up to me at the bar. Like, I'll say that.
no, I don't
and
do
then everyone
that.
like cheers.
Still don't want to
Groups
waste
are the
any
worst
time.
in a show. Anytime you get 10, 12 people together, they always think it's all about them. And they just
Oh,
start
yeah.
screaming. Ugh, 12 girls. Kill myself.
Yeah, I feel like if it's a corporate event, I'll ask what the business is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh,
yeah.
what's the company? Okay,
That's
I'll
fair.
give them a throw
Then
out.
I'll riff off something. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
and then I'll
I might
like
wanna
try
make
a
some jokes
joke
about it.
on
Sure.
that. Yeah, yeah.
I have to want to.
That's ridiculous.
Corporate stuff, that's all you do. I've only done a couple corporate
do
things
corporates?
in my life.
I do corporates, yeah.
I've only done
Good-looking
a
guy.
couple.
They're tricky, though, because it's
Why?
mostly old people.
Oh, you got to dance around things. I did
Yeah.
one corporate ever. It was for the it was somebody who saw me at the San Diego Comedy Store, La Jolla. So he was like, "You do whatever you want." I was like, "Perfect," because
Nice.
I can't come in clean more than
Sure,
5 minutes.
sure.
Yeah.
And then it was for the Border Patrol.
Oh, really?
It was the Border Patrol convention. They loved me because of those amazing
Oh,
racist
yeah.
sketches. So they
That's
were like,
hilarious.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I did a corporate. That's how I got to college, AJ. I started booking these corporates way before I was ready to book corporates because they just heard I was clean and they're like, "Oh, book
Good
them,"
enough.
you know?
Yeah.
And but I was just too young, so I'm up there referencing things that are like, "What are goosebumps?" Folks? Like nobody, like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody knew what to do. So this guy that is really successful comedian in Seattle, Kermit Apio, was like, "Listen, if I get colleges, I'm kind of getting out of date for colleges. I joke about my kids and they like me, but it's not whatever." So he's like, I'll give you a college gigs, and when you get corporates, just give me your corporates. And so we just do swaps. Okay, so somebody tried to book me for corporate. I'd be
People
like,
were
"Listen,
cool with that?
Oh, you.
yeah," I'd say, "Listen, I'm not good, but I know a comic
Who's
who
perfect.
would knock it out of the park."
Yeah.
And they're always like, "Really? Yeah, if it's just the same price and all that." And I was, "Yeah." And he would do the same thing with his colleges. Like, I know a guy who was better because
He's better at colleges.
yeah, he's got
I
to
have a
relate
one-way
with
street
these
like that
kids.
with Avi Lieberman. When people call me to like do a Jewish organization,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, if it's at all clean, I'm not the right guy.
Sure.
I appreciate it,
Yeah,
but I'm not
yeah,
the right
just
guy.
know that-
and Avi Lieberman will do it for you.
Because I was driving away from these corporates, like, just I didn't feel good about it. I knew they didn't feel
Yeah.
good about it. I'm holding the check, like, this better, you know. What I'm saying? I feel like I robbed them or something, you know. But I did a corporate. I performed for the LAPD for like 2 different Christmas parties.
Really? That's cool. You have to be
Just
clean for
last
that?
year, yeah. What's
You
that?
have to be clean for that?
No, I went crazy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I just
If
put
they made you be
bananas.
clean, it's like, really? You guys?
Speaking of PD and Seattle PD, they got in trouble. Are you from Seattle too?
He's
No,
from
you're
Seattle.
not. Just you.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They
thought
got in
I thought
trouble
you
for
were from
what?
there too. Passing my videos around.
Oh,
Passing those
really?
yeah, a few of them
That's
got fired.
really fat. Wait, they got fired for passing around your videos.
A couple got fired. A bunch got suspended.
What?
The Amazing
Because,
Racist videos?
yeah, because some fucking cunt, male or woman, I don't know, said
Sure.
they shouldn't be doing this on
Bullshit.
public emails
Cops
or
have
on
been
like
dirtbags since the age of time.
yeah. I'm like, well, they're not supposed to enjoy like funny videos,
Right.
And so that because you don't enjoy it, they shouldn't be cops anymore.
Oh my gosh! It's so, cops. That is the highest form of fraternity. Like being
Yeah.
a police officer, you know, they all hang out with each other.
Yeah,
They're
it's
all
friends.
like
Watch some
grouping
raunchy
around. They got
videos.
these cop groupies, and they all are dirt. You know, what
They're
I'm
not getting
saying? It's
blowjobs by hookers in their cop car.
Like, right.
Yeah.
They're watching a
Yeah.
video of.
That's their email. They use it to send someone else.
I'm going up to Seattle this next month. I'm going to make fun of that so bad.
You should.
My
It's
buddy got fired.
We should
9
make
years
a
ago.
video.
It's like,
And
fuck
I'll
you.
play it at the show.
that's a good idea.
Cops come to my shows in Seattle all the time, and
Really?
like, yeah, we'll do something like, hey, pass this around, like, what, like, oh, I don't know, but I think there's
All right,
something
we can
there
figure
because that's
something out.
ridiculous. Last time I was up there, I was ranting about the Seattle PD because they're getting in trouble for like they would kick like there was all these videos being released of cops, like there'd be like a guy in handcuffs on the ground, and the cop like kicked him with his boot
Oh,
while he
yeah.
was cuffed, and then that was it.
Those
They
cops ruin
arrested
it
the
for
guy.
everybody.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like I didn't even care about that. It's like this guy just held up like a grocery store. It's like, wouldn't you get a little upset?
Yeah, kick him in the stomach.
The
Who
guy
cares?
just threatened your life. Like he was calling you a pig for the
Yeah.
last hour and a half and making demands. And
Yeah.
Everyone wants to assume cops are all wrong all the time, but it's
Yeah.
like, well, they protect and serve.
sure, it's a crap job.
We had somebody in front of the Comedy Store. There's like 6 cop cars pulled somebody over, and they were standing there like up at the ramp to the Hyatt, to the Andaz, whatever. They were
Yeah.
standing there with guns drawn, like behind that thing, like all over. And all these comics were coming out, like, leave them alone. They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then it was like, hey, they probably stole a fucking car.
Exactly.
It's not bad. They have guns drawn on one dude. Like
Exactly.
maybe they did something wrong.
And who are you gonna call next time you get beat up or something? You call the police, and then
Yeah.
you're just gonna bitch that they didn't get there soon enough.
Fast
Like it's,
enough.
it's the worst job.
I don't like highway patrol or state troopers, though.
Because they give you tickets.
No, because their entire job is bullshit, I think.
I think meter maids is as far as I'll go on that. Like I just
Really?
don't like parking enforcement.
Dude, highway patrol and state troopers, the guys that like their job is just sit in a ditch where there's a speed gap,
Yeah.
like a speed
Oh,
trap,
just grab
so
people.
they can grab
Well,
people.
I'm not
Like,
saying
you're
like
not
I just
protecting
don't
and serving
hate.
anybody.
I'm like indifferent to them.
Even
like,
meter
it's
maids,
just like a
even
thing.
park enforcement, it's like if they didn't have that, you would never find a spot anywhere.
Really?
No, people just leave their car there for
Oh, yeah,
days.
yeah. But if I was mayor, I would say park wherever the hell you want. I don't care. Just park. Like it doesn't matter if you're
I don't think
blocking
you
a
thought
fire.
that through, Jeff.
No, I would. If you're blocking
Jeff
a
Dye's running for
fire
Congress.
like thing or whatever like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your
Some
car
rules.
could get jacked up. Like that hose is gonna be banging up, like, and that's your fault. Like you parked in front of it. So don't try to sue the city. Your car's all banged
I
up
like
because you
that
parked
rule.
in front.
Yeah,
or
that's not
like
bad.
if you're blocking someone in, like and you get towed, like you shouldn't have blocked someone in. Like I think it's a big scam to just get a ton of money. The city just takes your money. Like I paid like thousands of dollars in parking tickets in the last like 2 or 3 years.
Really?
Thousands.
It is just them taking your money.
It is.
They want you to not be able to pay your meter so they can get
it's
$40
a
out of
scam.
you.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with
My
like
brother got this is the thing about, like meter maids. Yeah, you're right. Like they need them to make sure people whatever. But like this is how fucked up they are. My brother like parked somewhere, got out of his car, and then like right away, like he thought he was supposed to be able to park there, and then like right away they started writing him a ticket because it wasn't a meter, I guess, but it was like he thought he could park there. And then like he goes, what's going on? He like just got out of his car. He's like, oh, what's going on? He goes, can I not park there? And they're like, no, I can't park it. And they're writing the ticket. He goes, all right, well, I'll move my car. Like, he's like, I just got out. Like, you just
let me know. Just let me know I can't park there.
Yeah, he's like, I just got out. And they're like, nope, sorry, I already wrote the ticket. They're just like writing it.
That's douchey.
$150 ticket.
That's douchey on a human level.
Yeah.
Not on them. I've seen people like that giving tickets. I'm like, hey, why don't you tell these people getting out of their car, you're going to ticket them in 3 more cars.
Yeah.
Just tell them, hey, guys, can't park there. You want to move.
I think most things in life, when you judge them black or white like that, are it's like just with anything, with religion, with like parking, like nothing's that black and white. There's circumstances. If a guy's left his car there for 5 days, you need to tow it and like stick to your guns, like this guy. But if he's just pulled in, it's not that black and white. Like it's extenuated. Like I hate this so much.
Have you ever gotten out of a ticket for being so good looking, Jeff?
Have you?
No, not even close.
Have you ever got any benefits? Well, you wouldn't even notice them. You would just be like, cool, free cake.
I'm trying to think.
Free cake.
No, I will say that like when I was 20-something, like this is the stupidest thing to admit on a podcast. I would go to this like tanning place, and the only reason I went to the tanning place in Seattle, they're huge. We don't get regular sun, so like everybody like
So
wants that vitamin D. So or just to look tan, not pasty and white. So anyways, I would go to this tanning place just because there were a bunch of beautiful women that worked there. That's my initial reason for going in. But then they would give me free tans all the time. Like they would just be like, yeah, you just go ahead. Like they would always, and I didn't know them.
That's a good looking guy.
Yeah, that's a good looking guy.
And I was like, free tans.
You know what I
these
get?
girls are
A little
hot.
bit the opposite. Not so much have to pay, but they're like, yeah, we're full right now. And they stare at me. And I'm like, nobody's come in here. What do you mean? They're like, beat it.
Appointments.
Appointments only.
Eat
What?
right.
I see a bed open right there. I said, leave.
And,
I'll go.
and that's at the emergency room when you're bleeding. Come on, my leg. It just got shot. They're like, get out of here, ugly. Jeff Dye sprained his pinky.
Take
He's
it
coming
downtown.
in.
Do you think? I'm trying to think. Like this is an interesting along this subject. What do you think that there's anything like you've gotten because you're better? I'm trying to think of like the perks.
I don't know how many perks I get. I'm telling you, I think I'm
You-
good.
I don't think
I think
you
I'm
would
a
know
good-looking guy. I don't think I'm at that level where people are handing me shit.
I don't think you would
think it
notice
was
because I've
handy
gotten like at a restaurant, people are like, everybody, we're giving shots to everybody or free dessert, something like that, here or there. But I don't think you would notice when it happens more often than it would to an ugly guy.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I've gotten.
They would have to tell you it's because you're pretty. That's the only way you would know.
What girls? It's pretty
Like
easy.
just like you said, like girls. It's like, I'm
but
ambitious.
it's
Like,
easy
no,
to
you're
point
not.
out when girls
Yeah,
get it
ambitious,
because because I'm not a girl or something. But like
So you
like
can
they
see
get out
it.
of parking tickets
You can't
and
see
they
the
get
forest
like
for the trees.
free
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's like
So I was
girls
trying to
don't
think
know
if there's
shit.
any perks that I can think of.
I know when there's a pretty girl, I'll tip better usually. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not going
I
home
don't
with
know
them.
why.
But it's like, here, let me leave you some money so you can take it home to your hot boyfriend.
Yeah.
The gym trainer said once. He goes, why are we tipping her? She's not going to fuck any of us.
Dude, that's the thing. Like Mike
Not
Costa.
tipping at all. But
You guys
yeah.
heard Mike?
He's a hot guy too.
Yeah, Mike Costa did that bit about like hot girls talking about their experience. Like, oh, you gotta go to this bar. It's so great. And he's like, I'm not gonna have the same experience at that bar that you had. And he's like, oh, really? How much were drinks? Oh, drinks? We just kind of got drinks all night. Oh, what was the cover? Oh, I don't think there was a cover. That was the music. Oh, they just played whatever we want all night. And then he goes, he's like, when hot chicks talk about Las Vegas, he's like, I don't even know what fucking city they're talking about. That was like, I started cracking out the first time I heard him say that. Hot girls, like my ex, like she
funny,
she turned to like a totally different person. She like loves going to Vegas and fucking partying and like rich guys fucking buying her shit now. Like she went into like a sweet girl to like just like a Hollywood chick, like a Hollywood head, right? So like it's like very disappointing. But she would like tell me like, I don't know, I just like going to Vegas. It's like a place where I can like dress up and I'm like and spend no money and like it's just like that's why
I know why you like
I
it.
only go to Vegas when I work Vegas.
Chivley used to talk about that. One of his ex-girlfriends was like, yeah, we just hang out with these like billionaires. They just take us around. It's super fun. And Chivley was like, oh, you definitely fucked them.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm buying this half story from you.
Yeah,
Or they
I know
definitely
a
just
girl,
wanted to. They didn't think you were cool.
I know a girl whose boyfriend literally buys her like $1,000 shoes almost every day, and she's like, the most awful human I've ever known in my life.
People get entitled.
And so then at one point she asked him to go get his her dry cleaning or something like that.
Yeah.
She's like, my card's on the table, like my debit card or whatever. You could pick it up. So she's basically sending him on an errand you would send your assistant on.
Yeah.
Is there any way you could pick up my dry cleaning? Which at first I'd be like, you feel degraded.
Yeah.
Like, I'm buying you shit every single day for thousands of dollars. This guy's an idiot. So he goes, picks up her dry cleaning, brings it back to her, and he's like, hey, it was like $12. I just used your card. And she sat him down, was like almost ready to break up with him, that he would have the balls to not just pay for the $12 himself. And the excuse she used is that she's old-fashioned. She's an old soul. Yeah. So
That's such a stupid excuse.
It's the worst
You're
excuse.
just like, I'm a horrible cunt who wants everything for free, so let me think of a cool way to say that.
If you're old-fashioned, then
don't make it sound like you're classy.
You would clean your own clothes, right? And mine, because I'm a man. It's like KT has.
There's certain things I wouldn't buy for, like, I'll pay for dinner every time. Yeah. But, like, that's when we're going out together.
Right.
She's like, I'm going to eat before I come here. I'm like, well, I'm not paying for you then.
Right. No, it's so
when you're with
so backwards.
I'm not I don't pay for somebody's laundry.
That culture of, like, I want him to marry me. But, the ring he bought me is only like $100,000. And it's like, I don't even know if he's really serious about this. It's like, he gave you a ring that is worth a house. Like, why? Why did he have to do that? Like, why did he have to give you a ring at all?
Why is that even a thing? Aren't we supposed to be equal on some level? Aren't we supposed to be sort of equal?
Dude, those girls that go like
on
those trips with rich guys and then say they don't do anything is so funny because that America's Next Top Model girl, while I was dating her, she was like, oh yeah, my friend, the Prince of Pakistan. Or whatever, he like takes me on trips sometimes because I met him when I was modeling in Italy, and he just takes me on these fun trips. I'm like, all right, well, he wants to fuck you, right? Like he's gonna try and fuck. And like while we're dating, she's like, yeah, he's flying me and my friends out to Monte Carlo and Saint Tropez and all this stuff. Like, fucking, it sounds like a fun trip, right? And then so I go, all right, well, like. I told her right then, I'm like, we're not gonna be serious because like I'm not attracted to girls that like feel the need to accept trips like that.
Sure.
And I go, and she's like, no, he's not gonna try and fuck me. She goes, we're friends. And I'm like,
you better fuck him. That's what I'd say. You better have sex. Go have sex with him.
If he flies you out there and you take that trip and
go
don't
have
fuck,
sex with him.
You're an asshole.
This is how ridiculous so hot girls are. So she goes, yeah, like we're just friends. It's not like that, Jeff. You don't understand. I'm like, you're just friends? I go, okay, so if you died right now, God forbid, I go, would he care? And she goes, no. And I'm like, that's not a friend.
Right.
I go, there are people that I don't consider my friends. If I die right now, they'd be sad a little bit for like a day. I go, and you just blatantly said you won't care. And she goes, you and I have different definitions of the word friend. I'm like, yeah, I'm using the one from the dictionary. You're just making shit up.
You're using the one.
And then she called me from Monte. I think it was Saint Tropez. She called me and she's crying and she's like, Jeff, like the first night here, like he tried to get me and my friends. Like they offered us like €20,000 to fuck us. And I was just like, did you take it? And she's like, no. She's like, it went all the way up to I think 50 or 75,000 euro.
And then she took it
to fuck. And she's like. But no, she's like Southern. She's like very like that's what's funny. She's like very naive, but she's like super nice. And she's like she won't do stuff like that. So she was just like crying. She's like, and now like they're sending us home, and we're coming home in a couple of days, so we couldn't get a flight out today because it was too late. And she's like, but they're all mad at us and they're yelling at us. And I'm like, why the fuck do you think he's flying?
Yeah,
like,
why do you think? I told
you didn't invite your boyfriends or your husbands or any of your ugly friends. Like, there's a reason why he only invited hot blonde chicks from
what are you
Hollywood.
mad they're flying you home? They flew you over there.
Free stuff. It doesn't work like that. Like they're like you just.
Nothing's free. No guy's taking a girl on a date and buying her food because he hopes that like a friendship evolves. You know what I mean? It's like everything's with a reason. Oh boy. But that was like that was the funniest thing.
Aren't girls dumb?
She was crying about it. Like,
hilarious.
can you believe this?
I wonder if I did a podcast with two hot girls, they'd be like, I'm not really that hot. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they'd know.
They might know.
I love guys buying me stuff.
All right, we got to wrap this up. It's gone super long. Thank you guys for coming.
Than's for having me.
Thanks for including me in Jeff Dye's hotness shadow.
I'm telling you, man, you're close. You're not Dye level, but you're a good Geoff Keith level.
Yeah, Jeff, you're not at Dye level.
You're like for a comic.
My whole point was to get Jeff to finally just go. You're not at my level.
Not gonna win
for a
this
comic,
argument.
you're like a 9. A 9.5, maybe.
Come on, dude. Who's a 10?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a 10? Well, if he didn't exist, where would I be? I'd be a 10.
If he didn't exist, you'd be a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, he's had to set the bar, I guess.
Yeah, Dane Cook.
Is there a hotter male comic than you?
Oh, I like this long pause.
Yeah,
now you're gonna try to say something humble after the long pause.
Yeah, like Anthony Jeselnik or that guy. Like, people think he's
I'm better looking than him, aren't I?
He's okay looking. Yeah, Keith
Come
is
on,
better looking.
your scale's off.
Than Jeselnik. Jeselnik's not ugly. He's like
He's a good-looking
okay
guy.
looking, but like, yeah, Jeselnik. What are you talking about?
Is that kind of a Dick Tracy
Kevin
flat
Hart?
top?
What?
Good looking guy, right? Kevin Hart. People
He's
like
4'1", and
Yeah.
I can't tell a black dude.
4'11".
I have no idea.
Sean Wayans. good looking dude.
Shawn Wayans is pretty
Sean
good.
and Marlon Wayans are good looking.
No, not Marlon.
Marlon's
Yeah,
a good looking
Sean,
guy. You
not
don't think
Marlon's
Marlon's a good looking
goofy
guy?
and ugly.
Marlon looks like a cartoon.
That's why he's funny.
But his face in person is good looking.
Sean
I've
is the
heard
one
girls.
that
I know
goes
girls
Sean,
that.
yeah, like I opened for him in Seattle once. And he didn't tell a single joke. I don't think the
Yeah.
45 minutes he was up there. I didn't laugh. I don't think anyone laughed. But it was just a bunch of girls in the audience just waiting. Is this show over? We want to have sex with Sean. Like it was like. That's the whole audience. Like, who's gonna get picked? It was a big lottery.
They don't
of,
care. Like, finish up your stupid talking.
yeah,
so
whatever
we can fuck
you're,
you.
yeah, whatever you're talking about up there.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
thanks a lot, guys. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
having us, brother.
Geoff Dye, Geoff Keith. What are you on? What are you going soon? Are you going
I'm in
anywhere on the
Seattle,
road?
January 5th.
Seattle, January 5th.
Yes,
okay.
sir. Parlor
Where?
Live in Bellevue.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna go to that place eventually.
Good place.
Is it fun?
The best.
I've heard it's cool. It's a cool club.
It's awesome.
Parlor Live, January 5th.
Yes,
One
sir.
night.
I'm there Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
When's this? When are you putting this up? Okay.
Probably put it up this Monday.
Oh, okay, forget it, because I'm in San Diego
Okay.
tomorrow
what's your
and
next,
Friday.
What's your next one? Next month. You have a gig.
No,
People actually come out for this. It gets a bunch of listeners.
I know I'm going to Asia though to visit my buddy. I'm going to the Philippines and Thailand.
I don't have any Asian listeners.
I'm going to a full moon party in Thailand for New Year's.
Is that the most racist term I've ever heard? Or
No, that's what it's called.
why'd they call it that?
Because you party on the beach in like a forest under a moon
Oh.
or something.
Oh,
the moon,
that's way more
not a
boring than I
moon,
was
the
hoping.
moon.
Full moon party. I just thought that meant. I was so intrigued for a second. I was like, which kind of racist Asian term is that?
No, yeah, but then I just do. I was still like my college tour when I get back. So when I get back in January, I'm just like back on the road again doing all that.
Colleges.
Those colleges. No one needs to show up.
Yeah, exactly. You get paid regardless. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right. Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank number 38. All about my beautiful friends and their beautiful lives. All about Geoff Dye and Geoff Keith. It's done. It's over. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Again, I'll be at Rick Brunson's House of Comedy at the end of January. I think the 25th through the 29th. Go to houseofcomedy.net. It's a net. It's not a com. It's a net. And my storyteller show, January 3rd. Really, seriously, come to that. If any show in LA you should come to, it's that one. I think that's it. I'll be at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve if you're looking for something to do. I should be drunk at some point. It's a good date night. But that's it, everybody. Again, thank you very much to my sponsors again, adamandeve.com, for all your needs in adult entertainment. And by adult entertainment, it's mostly jerking off materials. You know, DVDs, stuff to put around your penis and or vagina in order to feel more pleasure. Things like that. They have a special code. If you go there because of me, you go put in Ari at the checkout, and they give you 50% off an item. I think one free item, 3 free DVDs, and honestly, even if they're bad porno DVDs, they're still porno DVDs. You can give them to your uncle or aunt at Christmas party. So go there, and then something else too. Free shipping. You get that also. So go there and support them because they support me. I appreciate it. And that's it, everybody. I thought I had something to say about these podcasts, but I'm not really sure. Oh, I'm waiting till after my next storyteller show to start the This Is Not Happening storyteller podcast because I want to have more. I'm not going to have like a whole show at once. I'm going to do like each story cut up individually because also if somebody bombs, I'm not fucking putting that up there. So I'll tell you about it when it comes out. And that's it. I appreciate you guys listening. Have a happy new year. Bye. And next week, hopefully, if I get it, should be a really good guest.